Archangel, and I have a message for all humans, for all kids, for all humans of all ages, teenagers, adults, old people, for all of you to remember to respect yourselves and your own dignity. And then, if you do this, then everyone else will respect you as well. Please remember to always be clean minded, to be patient with others, to always please practice clean minded etiquette. Please always dress appropriately, rather. Always care for your own health. By dressing appropriately, you care for your own health and have respect for yourself. Never look in the direction of another human that is not dressed appropriately, because obviously they are not respecting themselves and they have no respect for you in the way that they dress inappropriately. All children, please remember to dress appropriately for the temperatures. Your body and brain need a proper temperature to function. Always wear proper clothing that is made of proper materials out of respect of yourself and all humans, teenagers, and adults of all ages, and old people. If you wear proper clothing to maintain proper temperatures on your skin, to keep yourself warm enough or cool enough, depending on the temperatures, so you have a normal body temperature, then you are respecting yourself. Every human being, a child, a teenager, an adult, an old person, is created in God's own image. Loved into existence, every child is cared for, remember, in the womb, by the mother, for 9 months. Loved that way, cared for her own health, and ate proper food, and took care of her own health, body, brain, mind, soul, of clean mind, and etiquette and physicality, then had a clean minded child in the womb for 9 months and loved it and took care of it as properly as she could till the baby was born. The baby is born a kind hearted soul. It is born of clean flesh, of clean mind, of good morals. It is a very intelligent little individual. It has a dignity of God within it, a valuable life, with a brain, a mind, a soul, emotions, personality, and has to be respected all the ways that it has a right to be and as it chooses to be respected. To be properly clothed by the caregivers, the parents, with proper clothing, proper for their skin, made of proper materials, with proper design on it, if there is one, something cute, appropriate for an infant, then a toddler, then a teenager, then as adults, these children grow up, have to be taught by the parents and caregivers and raised properly, to be cared for in the ways they right to be respected as clean-minded individuals. It is the parents' job, the mother and the father, to be of clean mind, to take the time and care for their baby and raise it appropriately and teach it respect in English when it learns already that it has in the 2 words. So it knows already what it has to respect itself, how to clothe itself appropriately, to respect itself as a human, clean minded individual, starting as a child throughout the teenage years, to be reminded and taught this by the parents and caregivers, the school educators in elementary school and high school, throughout university. Already then, children would be almost adults and know to, when raised properly by their parents and caregivers of clean mind, to be dressed appropriately out of respect of themselves and for others who see them in the ways that they dress, to care for their health, to dress appropriately first, to care for their health, with proper to find most important clothing that covers the skin, made of proper materials so it doesn't irritate the skin, to keep the body a temperature that they care enough to care for it to be normal temperatures to function the body and brain at all times, and of respect of its own health and its own life. If it's sunny out, to buy clothing covering the skin as best possible, long sleeves, to prevent get it from cancer, from sunburn, to care for its health. Respect its own health and life, its own body, its face, skin, all organs, brain, mind, soul belong to God. On God's side, a clean-minded human that cares for itself and its own health. And when colder temperatures, can wear other clothing that's made appropriate to stay warm so the body temperature stays warm enough to function properly so it doesn't freeze. Then the physical health of the child, when of proper age, then a teenager, then an adult, all the years knows to think of this and respect its own health, its own physical body, brain, face, head, organs, all physical health, to care for it. When it does this, it respects itself, its own dignity of God, as a valuable life, with a soul, a being, physicality, brain, mind, soul, organs, to care for its own health and well-being. And this in this way, keep in mind it is setting a good example for others, because others have vision, eyes to see. What this human that was cared enough for its own health and dressed appropriately in front of others set a good example for other people to see. Other humans see things and learn from other humans. Keep in mind animals see humans as well. Animals have their intelligence. They are kind-hearted souls. They do have a personality, emotions, brain. They have a kind heart and soul. They have vision too. All creatures created in God's own image, loved into existence by their parents, raised and cared for, and clean mind, of clean-minded etiquette, including the animals. All the animals rather, pets, are of clean mind and soul. They are pure hearts. They have to be respected as well by humans dressing appropriately at every age. The animals have souls. They can be disrespected as well, but not allowed to be. They have a right to be respected and to see with their vision humans, little children dressed warmly and not shivering by their parents, the little babies, the toddlers, and then when the parents educate these toddlers and are morally obligated under God to set a proper example of clean-minded etiquette and care for their child to be dressed warmly when it's cold so it doesn't be cold, and when it's dressed appropriately in warm temperatures so it's not too hot or harmed in the sun. The animals care. They see an infant and care for it to not they understand enough for it to be warm, to be dressed properly throughout the years so it's not too cold. These animals, the humans especially have pets, care. Keep in mind they have a soul, as is stated. They don't have the reasoning intellectual capabilities to further do anything to help. But if they see something wrong, they sense it. They will sense that a child is left there, shivering cold, and would bark and let the parents know to help it. Beyond that, they cannot speak, but would do anything to help the child. So it is the parents' job to care for this child, especially if they have pets, out of respect of the child, to keep it warm, of proper temperature all year, out of respect of to keep in mind the animals, they care. They love this child. They don't want anything wrong done to it. The kittens, the puppies, the dogs, a bunny, the birds, they care. Any pets, see, have to be respected as well, and parents to take care of these children and raise them appropriately, and then to buy proper clothing so they have proper materials on their skin so it's not irritated, proper blankets, and then any clothing that has to be covering the skin in public, of clean-minded etiquette, children raised by the proper caregivers and parents, and examples in the social media, the singers, all the different women and men have to set a good moral example out of respect of themselves, to dress appropriately at every age, because there are 100 million viewers that are tuning in and have a right as a human being with a soul, brain, physicality, and organs, a life to be respected by all, especially those humans well known in the media, world leaders, the singers, actresses, actors, Pope, of all kinds of humans. Humans have vision and have no right, there is no right, rather, for any other human to disrespect this vision. This human being with a brain mind of clean-minded soul, physicality and life force, a dignity within them of God, every human, religious or not, at every age, even animals, to be respected in all ways of being clean-minded and dressed appropriately in public, especially those with millions of viewers, those that are making the millions of dollars they cannot make unless they are doing morally right and setting a good example for all humanity and all living creatures and animals that have vision too and have a right to be respected as a clean-minded human being, their clean-minded vision, their eyes, the soul, to not be strained, their heart offended in any way, physically, heart and nervous system, by seeing these humans not dressed appropriately. All those in high office and those in the media, the singers and song actresses, this is a reminder from a human earth angel that you have to dress appropriately. I am a human being, but I have high ranking as an earth angel, a celestial being of high ranking in heaven. On this earth, sending a message from the kindness of my own heart and soul to stop the disrespect of humanity by those that do have no right, rather, to disrespect any human, child, teenager, and human adult, an old person, disabled person, any living creature, pet, or animal that has vision of clean-minded soul, brain, mind, physicality, has emotions, a valuable life, to be respected, the dignity of God within them, religious or not. That all of these singers and song actresses that started out singing gospel singers songs, they knew on God's side to sing appropriately with their song lyrics and hearing. They affect their own hearing, which belongs to God, of their physicality of clean mind, and 100 million people, especially young children, the toddlers, adults, teenagers, old people, people disabled, that all have a clean mind, brain, physicality, and organs, a soul that is not allowed to be disrespected by any other human, especially singers, the well known ones, the women, the men, the movie actors and actresses, those making the $100 million over years, especially those making advertisements and commercials, that knew and started off using their talents that belong to God, their singing voices, their pretty faces. They then, over the years, had no right to do and know, and did what was morally wrong and offended 100 million people and set a morally wrong example. 100 million people were offended, their heart strained, their nervous system, their kind-hearted, clean-minded, etiquette souls, the hearing, the ears, is a brain function, and their vision of eyes. These are disrespected the human health of hearing while they were offended and had to be valued as humans, to be respected and never offended this way by any singer, women, men that were singing offensive song lyrics, knew not to, of different content, not morally appropriate for any age. The movie actors and actresses making scary movies, disrespecting human health and lives and souls for many years, had no right to know and know. Those that govern, that hire these individuals, know under God morally they couldn't hire these actresses and actors and put funding into making these movies and videos, the books, the advertisements, commercials, for what was morally wrong, but did. They had no right to do to offend 100 million people, to disrespect their health. 100 million people, children, adults, teenagers of all ages, suffered serious heart failure, damage, nervous system, scared, disrespected, offended, morally wronged, and were not allowed to be disrespected this way. Their vision, their hearing, and physical health suffered and can't be healed. Their souls can't be healed when offended. None of these in high jobs that hire these singers and actors that apply for these jobs maintained that they would be a morally good example to make kind-hearted, clean-minded of morals, good morals movies that would be beneficial to humanity, to teach them something beneficial in their life, to help them in life, to find something that humans enjoy to watch of clean mind, to take the extra seconds to find a simple sentence, a song lyric, a one liner in a movie that would bring joy to a human heart, to educate them, to be of clean minded morals, to promote clean minded etiquette to humans in the target audience, starting as children, babies, toddlers, teenagers, all adults, humans of every age, old people who can't have a strained heart are to be respected as well. All these humans, as I stated, the babies, toddlers, teenagers, adults, humans, elderly, disabled, all of clean mind have a right, rather, to be respected, to have their hearing that belongs to God. They care enough to care for to be clean minded. Their health, there is a brain function, the ears to hear, their organs, ears, the eyes, vision, a part controlled by the brain, organs, their soul, which can't be healed, to be respected by these individuals that hire these singers, men and women of all ages, the actors and actresses, those who make the commercials, those who make the digital graphics in the movies, those who write the scripts, those who write the song lyrics. They were supposed to maintain a respect of all humanity for hundreds of years. They didn't do their job, and under God, they morally had to do right because they have 100 million people tuning in, viewing on 100 million types of social media, videos, movie theaters that put these videos as well, morally obligated to put something that cares for human health. If it is going to be scary, harm a human health, is a waste of time to human life for a human to be scared for an hour with bullshit online as well, or going to be promoted in videos and advertisements in social media ads, is very offensive to humans, morally wrong, damages human hearts. Humans essentially rather suffer a heart attack and almost die. It is a serious health concern of humans being afraid of something. These movies, these industries of theaters, they all know in their jobs when hiring whoever hired these individuals to care to be on God's side, religious or not, out of respect of humanity and all their potential viewers, all those potentially listening to what they were gonna create. These movies, advertisements, TV shows, radio shows, online blog shows, all have to be out of respect of humanity because they know humans are going to watch this rather of all ages. They state target audiences, but humans by chance pass by or hear these song lyrics anywhere. Children, adults, teenagers are still children, need to be guided properly of clean morals, clean mind rather, good morals, proper etiquette by all humans. This is to keep in mind that all human life affects another life. Every human has a created and cared for and to loved into existence by a mother who took enough time to care for proper her own health, to took 100 million seconds, 9 months, and cared and loved a little infant in the womb until it was born, to nurture and care for it so it was born healthy of physical health, the brain, mind, organs, and physicality, its eyes, its ears, its kind heart, organs, its voice, the lips that use its mouth to speak, to throughout the ears if it chooses to sing, use it for on God's side of clean morals, to be a good example because what it sings and does affects others. We'll see other children, toddlers, other teenagers, then adults, other humans that are ill, disabled, cannot have their hearts trained or be offended, as especially the little pets if they have near them, the little bunnies, the dogs, puppies, birds, kittens, cats, all of these little children, toddlers, teenagers, all humans have a soul with a hearing, doesn't want to be harmed, cannot be disrespected, their vision, to see them if they dress inappropriately. All of these industries didn't take the time whoever was working, and then the governing higher bodies, such as the Pope and the world leaders, to do their part to morally and have to under God or can make their paycheck to respect all humans as valuable human souls, to be of clean mind, good moral examples, to do in their job description and have to do or can make their paycheck, to respect all humanity, to hire proper staff in those industries that will respect all humanity and living creatures of clean minded soul, brain, mind, physicality, and organs that were created and loved into existence by a mother for 9 long months to have perfect health and a clean mind, soul, ears, organs, vision, to see, clean minded as to be respected, a valued dignity of God within them, a human as they right and choose to be, to see, proper singers, singing proper things to help bring joy to human lives, to educate them with their singing voice, that the human choose to hear with their ears, that was loved into existence of clean mind and hearing, and right to be respected of God within them, a soul, the hearing, and every human, religious or not, is a temple then of clean mind for the Holy Spirit, has a soul, a spirit, to be respected of all and parts of all organs, including the hearing, the ears, is a brain function hearing of the brain and organ itself, the human eyes, the vision to be respected, and the voice to speak proper of clean mind, carefully educated, selectivized words, out of respect of all humanity, to care for what all humans have a right to hear something that is intelligent, that another human life took the time to take the time out of their life to slow down and be patient, to educate themselves about the other human, what they like to hear of clean mind, of good morals, of good etiquette, an intelligent one-liner in a TV show, in the news, in movies, in commercials, in advertisements, to not waste other humans' time. Humans have one life to live, to do something properly if they're going to be in the social media, in the news, these actresses, actors, on TV shows, online, in movies, the content the authors write in children's books, e-books, magazines, e-magazines, online blogs, different websites. Whoever is created these were hired and questioned by these employers to these questions, that they were going to respect all humanity that was going to view these with their eyes, loved into existence of clean health, and a right to respect this way in their soul. The eyes belong to a human on God's side, religious or not, to be respected, to see, with the eyes and cells belong to God rather, of every human to be respected, their vision, to see something that is morally right, that it doesn't waste the human time. It is an educated, caring one liner or song lyric from the heart intended to help someone, to educate someone with something worthwhile and intelligent, but on the part of the actors, the actresses, the women singers, the men singers, those who wrote the books, authors of ebooks, magazines. This hasn't been done on the part of those who employ the singers and the women and men singers, the actors and actresses. The whole industry is almost morally wrong. Though they made the millions of dollars, morally offending 100 million people, and millions of children were offended, their souls, their dignity of God within them, their hearing that their mother loved them into existence, of cared for 9 long months, to have proper healthy ears, brain function, eyes, tissues to see, their brain, their little heart not to be offended, scared, harmed, verbally abused, the hearing not offended, the vision not to see morally wrong, offensive content, singers Men and women not dressed with enough clothing, barely covering their private parts, dancing borderline porn stars, moments, and other backup singers. And then the market selling inappropriate clothing to little girls, children, dressing like these, singing, these women singing that started for 2 decades, all well known, every single one of them. Started singing with their voice talent of God. They thanked for their talent of clean song lyrics. Then for 2 decades, put more makeup as they got older and sing the same songs, morally offending 100 million children. Know they're making a morally wrong example and have no right to do. Disrespected myself, a human dignity of God not to hear these. Our little children, all morally wronged, their hearts, kind hearted ears that their mothers loved to exist, to have clean minded health and taught a clean mind etiquette, teenagers, and the rest of the world, adults, old people, morally wronged. Their, their loved into existence, hearing, their eyes, these senses were offended, their hearts strained. Music too loud harmed these humans that cared for their health after their mother loved them to care enough to take care of them so they're born healthy into this world and was harmed. They cannot heal these. These are even humans that didn't choose to listen to these song lyrics, but were in the presence. These humans driving by, putting this music too loud, playing these songs in the theaters, these songs going on in advertisements even before or during after movies, commercials. 100 million of these songs go on and still lasted for over 2 decades, some more. They made the billions of dollars and still. The children and the whole market, and I tell of clean mind, parents have to take care of their children. They're the ones who are putting the money and buying, giving the children money, as I've seen, is beyond wrong. Little children offensive to me. A clean minded human as any clean minded human alive to see a child with these tank tops would have their chest uncovered and butt, and their little girls, not even 10 years old, teenagers, all purchasing these and wearing in stores and walking outside. 100 of thousands of them. This is morally offensive. This is a disrespect of other humans. The parents and caregivers obviously are not setting a morally right example and shouldn't have had these children. Have no right to disrespect their own children, to give them money to purchase this clothing, to have access to for these children to watch these morally wrong singers, the women. I don't want to say their names, but it is true. This is a Britney Spears, Rihanna, Jennifer Lopez, Shakira. There's there's the in addition 10 to 20 of these started as I seen as children singing mostly in gospel choirs, their voices, and kept their proper health to look pretty and sing on God's side, clean minded song lyrics in, say, the 90s. And then throughout the years, when they got a bit older, were singing morally offensive content and dressing borderline porn stars. All have either nudity and filmed with their barely hands covering their chest and private parts, all wearing string bikinis and shorts covering half their butt cheeks, and put more makeup on through the years and still sold the same CDs and music videos. They paid millions of dollars to make these morally offensive to human vision, belongs to God's cells, hearing of 100 million children, teenagers, adults, then the stores selling this clothing, these worthless magazines. Angelica Gicella, an innocent human, an earth angel, never bought a magazine or looked in that direction since I was a child till adult and all my years. I never waste my time with anything morally wrong. A human has one life to live. When a human knows that these people are not, they know to do right or wrong, and then choose to disrespect their own health, they care their health more, but they disrespect it by singing morally offensive song lyrics, promoting lesbianism, gay, seducing men, the women singers, the men seducing women, the eyes that their mothers loved into existence and cared for and put in proper nutrients till they were born and cared to raise them enough, and they knew all the years, even starting in 90s, and they sang songs from the heart to God and Jesus with their singing talent, all of them, and respect their physical health they cared for to be a good role model as children singing in a temple their whole body of health proper to be pretty and good example to humans, and Holy Spirit their soul, carefully selectivized song lyrics over the years became morally offensive and made the extra millions of billions of dollars disrespecting humanity. And every press conference they have and paid $1 million have a Jesus on the Jesus cross. They sinned against God and Jesus morally. They knew not to. Don't get away with it on earth are judged immediately and had no right to disrespect humanity. What they did in themselves, they know is morally wrong. But to go into the industry and whoever hired these people are beyond morally doing wrong. They harmed and disrespected a dignity, a soul, a spirit of God, loved into existence by its mother in the womb for 9 months, taken care of throughout the years. Most people poor, they still are in the world, everyone. Work hard to care for their own health, of their hearing, vision, heart, not to be strained, not to be offended, have rights, not to be morally wronged. All humans have rights and freedom of choice not to be offended, not to they have a human dignity of God to respect it, all their organs, including the ears, hearing, function, the vision, eyes, not to see these things. They have freedom of choice not to see these, not to listen. It is the parents' and caregivers' job to keep reminding their children as much as need, educate them till they can take care of themselves and know, and throughout the years and remind them anyway when they're adults to be of a clean mind, to avoid wasting their time with what is morally wrong, song lyrics, TV shows, one-liners that are morally offensive to humans. Clearly anyone can tell which ones they are. Know to avoid. If there's a singer that doesn't respect her own health and life, to dress with enough covering clothing of long t-shirts, sleep enough for the proper temperatures, and proper attire of pants. If a singer, a woman that knows on God's side, She's gonna have a million viewers tune in that would that respect her already as a child because she was of clean mind and morally did wrong. Then obviously she's not worth to be watched and viewed. She doesn't care enough to respect her own dignity, to keep being morally right in her song lyrics. If she's gonna wear a string bikini covering her chest barely and have butt cheeks hanging out, she knows that she doesn't have enough respect for herself. So other humans obviously have to know enough and keep in mind to not support her $1 million wrong of her not respecting her own self. She doesn't have enough self-worth respect when she knows to respect her own body belongs to God to cover up, and she knows he's gonna be in front of 100 million people and set an example for children and not gonna do morally wrong, not gonna do morally right by dressing wrong, by wearing a bikini half covered and butt cheeks hanging out when she could wear a nice covered up top and pants, a nice whole covered up dress which she has clear enough money to buy, so it's pretty and a nice example for all humanity, as they are worth to see, their vision to be respected and soul life to see a human that is cares enough to respect their own dignity, their own self, to dress appropriately in front of others. They know their million people are gonna view them. If they're not gonna respect themselves, they obviously know they're not gonna respect others to make the extra $1 million. They are not worth viewing. These are disrespectful humans of themselves, and they know they're gonna disrespect morally children, toddlers are gonna see this, adults, old people, other humans, and they know under God they could morally be singing right, dress appropriately, and still have the viewers to respect the viewers, but they're not. They're gonna sing morally offensive content, promoting lesbianism, gay, partial nudity, different pornographic song lyric content. The dancers and them included borderline porn star movements, physically offensive to humans. When they don't have the self-respect and they know in the first place and on God started off and cared for their health to be pretty enough for people to see a nice face and body to sing, use their voice of talent, that they actually have a talent of God. This voice belongs to God to sing something proper, to educate people. They have a lovely voice that the humans, others don't have, that they can sing a song to help bring joy to human lives, to sing something appropriate, morally right, to sing nice songs make for children to hear, pleasing to their God given little ears, so they're not harmed, offended. Their ears and soul, all their spirit belong to God, would hear something that their soul loves to hear on God's right, morally right side, religious or not. Respect of Jesus, they all know. We're all humans, religious or not. To nothing gets away, nothing has the right to in themselves to morally do wrong. They all know right from wrong. If they do wrong, they offend Jesus, have no right to do. The Holy Spirit, everyone has a soul, has to be of clean mind, cannot disrespect the Holy Spirit. They don't get away with it. Their own soul is to be respected, as they all know, after being loved into existence by their own mother. In the womb for 9 months, grew the cells, were grown in the womb rather, proper health, nutrients from the mother, perfect health, born a human life soul, little baby with proper care, nice face, all healthy organs, loved into existence, and nurtured, cared for, raised as properly as could. And parents have to continue to care, to monitor their children, who file the complaints online act, If humans don't act to get rid of these morally wrong singers, to stop funding them, stop buying their CDs, to stop viewing them online, YouTube, they already made the billions of dollars, offended myself, and no right to do harm. Hearing vision of humans even looking for something, wasted human time. There's so much wrong, morally wrong, of these individuals that have been around for over 20 years. The same songs, useless, that and not removed from YouTube or online, social media. Is still on TV shows, commercials, ads for 2 decades. Made still the $1 billion, people making comments there, wasting their time. These individuals already made their money. They already disrespected themselves, and obviously don't have the respect for other humans if they dress inappropriately. They purposely dress this way and you not to seduce men when they have a husband and a child. All of them do, the singers and the women. In their soul, obviously have no respect for their own life, their own dignity, to respect themselves and their own husband that they loved and married, by making videos and putting their eyes in a certain movement to seduce men that they're not attracted to and not married to. And then the men, certain ones, drunk or not, they look at these eyes, looking like this singer, this woman is seducing them to be attracted to them in many ways, sexually, morally wrong. All of these singers do this and are pictures taken are on magazines. Seriously offensive, morally wrong. Made the $1 billion and still exist in stores after 2 decades. Humans such as myself, and then that's not such as myself, human, of clean mind, or go to stores and would put are beyond poor as it is, but would have better to have something there, an educational book, a magazine for nutrition to help human health would be more beneficial than to see these people there in the same ones for 20 years, put more makeup on to still look young and still sing the morally offensive wrong song lyrics with a picture taken with their eyes seducing men. All the singers, well-known women ones, started off and still morally wronging God and Jesus, knowing they can't, they don't get away with it, but do. They have no respect for their own self, and obviously no respect for humanity, what they're doing, and have to be avoided. They have to be stopped by all humans. Stop looking in direction of these humans magazines. Take a second, everyone has these iPhones, these cell phones with internet. There's a file that complained and keep putting act now to get rid of these people. These singers already made beyond their billions for these songs anyways. Had no right to do. 100 million lives, humans, clean mind, soul offended. They never verbally put an apology. Humans have free will of choice not to look that way, but a lot of humans look through different things to find what is morally right and have time wasted, health strain, trying to find something right to see. But these are mostly these people selling these ones, magazines, YouTube videos, online, ebooks. There's still them, TV shows from the 90s, mainly. All this had some content, and they still sell these after 2 long decades, wasting human time, money, offending humans. They're sinning against God, using their God given talent they know to morally do wrong. The men singers, especially most in the rap industry, all of these ones knew and were poor. They all started out all respecting God and Jesus, cared for by these kind-hearted. They know what it is to be poor. Most live on the street because they're poor, heart and soul to Jesus devoted. Gospel singers in the 90s, kind-hearted souls, all morally went wrong. They have thrill of choice, but went wrong. Spend time, made the extra $1 billion offending God, Jesus. They know no right to do. The Holy Spirit. Their mothers beyond poor in those areas, but loved them and took care for 9 months in the womb, so they have the proper health, face, skin health, ears. They were born with a God-given singing talent to help others to sing a nice song, to bring joy to their hearts and souls, human to other human hearing, to see them nice, kind-hearted, well-dressed humans, nice suit, nice sweater covered, nice pants, took the time they cared then as children to dress properly. Their parents took many years as to put the efforts to raise them morally right. These humans, all races, they all then morally knew to do right but didn't. They have no respect for themselves, and they have no right to disrespect the dignity of 100 million people they know, and whoever hired them. Under God, morally, when hired, they know they cannot hire these singers, the men, the women, the morally offensive ones. They know that they don't have enough self respect to dress properly in front of humans. I'm going to set a wrong example to 100 million viewers, and children will inadvertently see this and might get a wrong example. Adults, then teenagers, club industry, know to not put these songs there, but put them there, offending people with music that's clearly too loud, harming their loved into existence kind little ears, hearing, have heart damaged hearing, and almost deaf for years, while offended in the soul, don't want to hear. Humans offend but not acting to do anything. So I'm telling humans to act, avoid these places, especially it's COVID time, most are closed, but if they ever open, to take the time and go to a place that has a place with proper music, proper to hearing, proper sound level, not to harm the hearing, that was loved into existence by the mother, cared enough for the child and took care of its own health. There's no reason for it to be disrespected. Its ears and hearing that cannot be healed. Once a human hearing is damaged, brain is damaged for life. It can't be healed. A human life and dignity is the value of a human to be respected in all ways that they deserve. Every life affects another life. A human baby affects the parents, and vice versa. They all treat each other with respect, caring. The pets humans have, other humans have pets but see other humans. They see something proper. If they are offended, no one has the right to offend them. They have a dignity in them of God as soul, spirit, brain, mind, nice, kind-hearted vision, loved into existence by its mother, whom cared enough to care for it to grow healthy, be born, proper vision, eyes, hearing, heart, not to be strained by hearing loud song lyrics, someone playing, to keep in mind their pets, other humans next door's pets, so they don't harm the hearing. They can heal themselves. They don't want to be offended, have no right to be offended by anyone or anything. Their dignity. They can go even to other places, and little babies don't know if their hearing is harmed by these, and then they don't know enough yet. They don't have the reasoning intellectual abilities to go seek out medical advice to help find a way to hear it, to heal it rather. Their hearing is a part of the brain is damaged. Their soul has been wronged already. If they have been harmed physically, their hearing, but they beyond their control, another human didn't take the time to lower the music, especially offensive song lyrics, and offended the human soul. Hearing that way, the hearing of human that cared, to care for its hearing ears, to be of proper health, to eat proper nutrients most people poor, to have proper cells in their ears, brain, to be healthy, a temple of physicality, brain and body belongs to God, loved into existence, and continue to care for itself, to respect and has no right. Nothing has the right to disrespect this health of another human life, the hearing, by playing offensive songs, movies, too loud for others to hear, to harm the hearing, to offend them. Nothing has the right, no human, no singer, women, men, in all song genres. Books and the authors of children books are beyond offensive, disgusting topics, not informative, but are sold. There are one or two books, truly, that I went to stores and went through every book that I, for a certain age, a baby, toddler, or individual higher bit level age, I found one, maybe two books, an entire store that actually had English sentences that make sense, that an author took the time, a second, to write a sentence that actually made sense, an intelligent word to help, that would be respectful of a baby at that age, that would understand. The rest are disgusting, they're offensive. These are not, the authors didn't take the time make partial sentences that a child, that myself, an adult, read this and say can't even figure out what it means. Strains my brain, and I'm educated. Even the curriculum, the schools there, these books for teaching mathematics these days and sciences, and other books with these pictures there are not intelligent in any way made, but sold whole books, stores of these online. It is all garbage. It is the job of the caregivers, parents, to assess this, but to actually act. Humans they're going to the stores, but they say, oh, every human is reacting against everything these days, against offensive song lyrics, because and they had no right to be offended this way. Songs everywhere offensive, movies offensive in some way, scary, harming the health. Everything harms human health, can be healed. A health of a human that cared enough its mother to love into proper health and life and taught properly the soul educate, then the child to take the next step and care for health. Most people poor to keep proper health as best as they can, as long as they can. They're not easily healed as adults and old people. And then wrong this way offended. Humans shopping online, straining their heart, trying to find something proper, but it's all garbage. They're wasting human time. These humans have no right to do selling these books, these authors, for children especially, millions of them. The singers, the magazines that they make, offensive morally, as I stated, the sinning against God and Jesus, using their own talents that, under God that they have from, that they start no are to doing right purposes but doing wrong. They have to be stopped. This has gone for too many years, gone on for too many years rather. There is no order in the world almost left. Those are the 100 million people that would love to be respected and a right to be. Especially little children. They are born into the world, loved into existence, into proper care and health as they best can by their mother. Then they have the parents, the father as well, to raise them as till when they learn to educate them, and the teachers, elementary, high school, university, to care for respect their health, which is a main thing, because they need to keep their health as long as possible healthy of the ears, vision, and singing talents, and they have their voice, their heart, all their organs healthy as properly can, properly attired to think of first for the weather to survive, so they're warm, their health first above all, to respect themselves, their health, the parents to teach the children, the educators, the teachers, elementary, high schools to listen, principals, university teachers, keep open mind to help this, remind students, humans of all ages when proper, and these then humans can use what they have in their when they are physically healthy to use their god-given talents, their soul, then what they learned throughout the years. Some people good at medical stuff, some business, to use these what they're trained to do, the pope job that they train to be a nurse to help health, each job title of a police officer to promote peace, safe place for all, the world leaders to do their job to provide proper funding and care, respect the dignity of all humans, to have enough homes, proper medical care, shelter, food, funding for disabled that can't work ever, proper homes, money is there to be given to care for all humans. And then these industries for books to have proper books to put funding in the world to put books that are informative, educational to help humans get rid of finally all the bullshit that wastes human time and strains human going to malls, wearing sweaters, sweating, or into cold temperatures, and taking the time driving there to find a book, going online, burning calories, our health failing, and looking for an hour and barely find one book that has something intelligent to read. This is a disrespect of human life and health on the part of the authors. They have no right to disrespect anyone this way. The store owners, they screen which books are allowed to be sold, which are proper for human health. They assess for proper educational pieces for children. If it's going to be morally offensive, if it doesn't have enough information, if it has misinformation, they cannot sell it, but they still do. 100 million books, each store still has most garbage, misinformation, and humans end up either not buying anything myself and leaving, burn so many calories trying to find something they actually need and it wasn't there. And I went through 100 million offensive books to find through that and found maybe one book or none. And a human's vision is strained, not choosing to find the wrong content, but have to look through different ones to see find a nice even child educational book, to find one that's proper. Could have walked in there and found a nice one book sold that all children would love to read, and sold that one and easily found and left. There's only a few books that children actually need. The authors that care that would actually quote cared would be sold there, and the other ones entirely not sold, would save the health and lives of millions of people over years. In the stores sold online, saved their health strained, they cannot heal after. Humans poor buying food, working to have calories to walk to stores, to move their muscles, calories, nutrients, care, and getting there and spend hours looking and not find anything. Or find one book, but then humans offended as go along their soul, reading when their mother cared enough to have proper nutrients so they have nice healthy eyes, then they took care of themselves as human, and have to read through magazines on in the stores, all the well-known stores, the major ones online, still selling these offensive singer song actresses seducing men with the eyes, men all wearing tank tops, not a nice suit. They have the $1 million and wear a suit. No one wants to see a man with a tank top with the shoulders showing there. It is disgusting. It is offensive to humans, especially when it is song actor, that a singer, a man that is well known and can afford it, and for the purpose of a magazine. He's not on a beach somewhere. He is on a magazine that million people look up to this human, especially would we since a child know that he was a clean-minded human being, respecting even a God and Jesus, Holy Spirit, and then morally doing wrong in song lyrics and seducing men with other women rather with his eyes. With a tank top on, no human clean mind wants to see such as myself. And these are still sold after 20 years. They put more makeup on to look like they were young since 1990s. And $1 billion sold. People seeing these even don't want to see no more. Their time wasted. They're offended each time. Looking through magazines that they could not strain their heart pour and find some helpful nutrition magazine on the part of the retailers, the well-known ones, to sell a magazine that's helpful to humans and not one of these useless ones of these already made the $1 billion wronging humanity and have obviously no respect for themselves and others when they know they're going to morally do wrong and make billions of dollars. They wrongly innocently they wronged rather innocent children. They harmed the hearing health of 100 million people, offended the souls and had no right to do. There's even the humans that don't choose to hear it but were in the presence of places beyond their control that other people play these songs, commercials, the advertisements for their industry, for their songs, their records, albums, that they actually paid billions of dollars. They could have used their talents and have to, under God, do morally right and fix this. Put a statement telling humans that we're sorry. We were supposed to do a morally right example for all. We left you offended. We had no right to offend your clean-minded soul and hearing. There's the song, those singers, the men, especially rap artists and other morally wrong ones that started off and still talents and all respecting God and Jesus, but did morally wrong. 100 million lives, even people went to clubs, they were promoted illegally. The cigar industry and alcohol industry, and 100 million people lives were lost and harmed. Humans killed people. Humans verbally abused women because of it, because of these song lyrics. Did illegal hardcore drugs, smoke cigars, harm their health, and cigarettes, such as Hennessy drinking the hardcore liquor because they're in the videos. Humans poor but seen these and paid extra money to buy these money promoted wrongly in this song, in these videos, by these ones that known morally to the right and sang to Jesus as children, and their mothers, young and poor, started off and made money in their songs, could have stayed and had to that way or not have their job. Had no right to offend other humans, and they're responsible morally for those lives lost. Humans lost parents, children, having being offended children crying when humans saw this and became drunkards, having their parents being drunk yelling at them because of these singers in the videos. They have the press conferences, humans showing up there. They praise God and Jesus for their singing talent almost every time. But they use this talent to morally wrong people. This is not a respect of God and Jesus who died suffered on earth what no human should, but when went to heaven has no right to be disrespected by anyone they know, is by religious or not. Every human is judged morally, has to do right under God, religious or not, in soul, their actions, thoughts, brain, mind, recorded right away on earth. And out of respect of their physical health and talents of God to use to do morally right, especially if it's gonna affect another human within their hearing range, to make a song, to make it morally right, or don't sing anything. They have no right to morally wrong someone else. But if they think something wrong, keep it to themselves. They are judged themselves and are subject to judgment by God and Jesus, knowing they could have done right. They have to get forgiveness if they care enough to respect God and Jesus and Holy Spirit, their soul. Religious or not, they all know to when they care enough to not to do wrong again, to right the wrongs they did, apologize to those victims who heard this, their lives wrong, lost, to do something more right to help the victims, caring enough to never do wrong them again. Their listeners, the million viewers in the music song industry, the singers, the old women that danced inappropriately clad, then the children bought and promoted those other stores that went along and sold these. Then the magazine industry, the billions they made are the billions they made cannot be given, they cannot make this paycheck. They have to give back to the victims, give it back to the employer, and they have to rectify these on earth somehow, consciously say they're sorry to all their viewers. They had no right to offend them, ask for their forgiveness. They have to be forgiven by the individual that they wronged, and there's 100 million people over 20 years in every country, in every language, that they knew and had no right to offend by verbal abuse, use of content, partial or nudity in their song videos, in the movie videos industry. Those in the pornography industry don't have enough censorship to block out content so no children view it online, even inadvertently by accident. There's all content, the Vatican are doing their job to make sure no morally offensive content, false accusations against Pope and those on God's side there. Not do his job. Have to do. A millions people inadvertently seeing this. Time wasted, strange, seeing morally offensive content because those in the head industries, the Pope, world leaders are not looking into it, making sure, and they have to under God, that these humans are hired proper industry leaders in the music industry, the ones that hire these singers, the ones that hire the authors to publish the book, the publishers make sure it's proper intelligent content, not misinformation, or don't hire this author, don't publish their book. They're not doing this, but are under God and they know in their job description trained to do, or they can't make their paycheck because they're gonna wrong 100 million people. The customers are going to be offended, have their time wasted searching for proper content and have none to buy, no proper books, no intelligent books to buy for children, adults, their lives harmed, strained looking for something intelligent to buy, something nice to bring joy to their heart, a nice card. There's a million cards in the card stores that the managers are under God morally have to make sure it's properly sold, something intelligent, not offensive to human vision or their heart, their soul, something not bullshit written there that no human can even understand, but is sold. All the employers are not doing their job. There's some that care and have to do, but other people would love to do this job and have money for food and actually do a good job and care to find and sell only proper books, but they don't have these jobs, including world leaders, the president, prime ministers have to the access to these industry leaders' contact numbers, all publishing main companies, all the major retailers, Amazon online retailers, for example, Walmart, major in Canada states, selling another million stores in Canada. I've seen tank tops revealing for children and shorts and still selling these. They could have sold nice, invested, took the time and are recorded by God and under job description to do when they're asked by employers if you're gonna do this job to make sure there's proper managers of stores that do their job employing proper employees to sell proper products that care for human health, to respect morally right the children to have nice long sleeve shirts, nice pants with a nice logos if needed, proper material made, or don't sell them, don't order them. If they're gonna be covered enough to sell, not tank tops with a cleavage showing for 5-year-old children, girls, but don't sell anything else that the people work hard and go there driving, paying gas to go to the store, and then online if it's COVID times or to go there and strain their whole health and paycheck and then have nothing to buy, except there's tank tops revealing that a woman may wear to a strip club when they choose, but this is not for children. These are because the singers and song actors promoting certain ones, they put their names labeled on it. Humans purchase this. The parents have to care to tell the children don't buy it. They're not even of age. It is beyond offensive to me. I can't say anything unless I told the parent. But I cannot tell, as everyone knows, I'm a stranger to a child. I cannot tell a child unless I knew them kindly that don't wear this clothing, wear nice covered clothing, respect yourself. So it takes the parents to care. You have to act, be the human earth angels. Take care of your children morally right. You took, remember, 9 months in the womb to care for your child, love so that it is born healthy, of clean mind, soul. Hell, then care for it after is alive. To respect as long as you can remind it, to be of clean mind, and keep properly with proper patience and proper tone of voice, and remind them that not to look at these other singers. Don't respect their life enough to wear enough long sleeve shirt and $1 million could wear a pretty dress, a long one covered sleeves, and sing a nice song, then don't listen to them. They don't respect themselves to cover up enough and to sing something proper when they do know. To respect others they're gonna affect, then don't listen to them. Don't look their way. When of a proper age, parents have to act and act. It is like myself and see, but I act when I can. But the humans to have even this modern day with these cell phones, they have the internet access, and each there's a complaint department or store number or manager. Takes a second, tell them to get these magazines off the floor, then it will be gone. If humans don't complain and act, it will never be gone. 100 million people will suffer driving, as I stated there. See something offensive, their heart is actually strained, damaged nervous system, they end up buying nothing because there's nothing interesting, no nutrition, food advice, or anything proper, except these magazines, these actresses, actors, even the royalty, wasting human time and money, making up bullshit stories that might not even be true about their lives, and people buying this and selling. No one wants to see this. It's been 20 years, is actually over 2 decades. They're still selling what they already sold for 20 years. Made billions of dollars while people work hard or poor. No one wants to see anymore as it is. It's really outdated for 20 years. And there's nothing else proper sold. And then humans leave, strained heart, burn calories, going to stores, sweating, nuts, temperatures too cold, end up buying nothing informative that they went to get because there's nothing interesting to buy, nothing beneficial to human life being sold. Then if they told the managers what they have to act and tell them, look, I prefer magazines about new up-to-date nutrition or up-to-date COVID advice. Please put these in the store. Stop selling, promoting these magazines with these disgusting singers in their tank tops and the women with a cleavage showing. that I already made $1 million for 20 years and no one wants to see this. I drove all the way here for something to be sold proper from your store, and you're supposed to sell something I need, not some worthless, useless magazine. So please, you better fix this. They are morally responsible and they need humans to be acting this way, so please act. To tell them this, go online, there's the resources on the iPhone, put on a click on whatever the store is, for example, Walmart, say, file complaint, you have nothing, take down, get rid of these magazines, follow up, say, I comment this. They have to act like this, and they have to act, these managers. They know when they're employed to sell proper products for the customers that are beneficial to human health, to respect their customers' dignity as humans, have a valuable life that they know are all poor. Most people working barely survive and you come to the store for basic, proper, best food they can buy, and proper clothing with made of proper materials for children, teenagers, adults, old people, so it doesn't cause allergic reactions, not itchy to the skin, but they're still selling it and no one complaining. Humans are physically offended and don't do anything. Some care, get the idea, but if I telling humans this idea to act, if they actually tell the manager, take a second to come to the store, serve it up, say, and they call on this, they have the little walkie-talkies, they contact a manager and comes right away. Most cases, and let them know and speak. Look, this is a blanket not good for a child. It is shedding little particles and then breathe in, a child will be ill and for life. So please take it off the floor. If you know it already harmed a child, people return things, but file the complaints. You can file charges, criminal charges, if they harmed and you or some way. There's some charges, other different things can be done if, but you have to remember not to buy in the first place. But there's some other legal things can be done to these people, put fines on the stores if they sold the wrong things that they know they can't, to stop them, to take away their paychecks, find a different employer manager to will care for their employees, to make sure they have proper employees informing people and monitor if they're actually doing the job, putting proper items on the floor, themselves, employees working there. Humans do their job and leave. A lot of them care, but then a lot of them don't. Humans have to care to save whatever's left of humanity, health, whatever's left of these clean minded, moral humans that respect their own health and dignity, to act to save whatever and to push the issue when safe, to inform the children, to push the issue with these other people that are morally doing wrong that they know, to remind them and save even friends, say, please do right. You know, right, to offend me if you sang something or this, that song's no good, don't sing it, don't listen to that song after they made millions of dollars, is not good for your hearing. Do something nice instead. The children to tell people if they hear this, to first promote this, say, look, there's a nice song. Listen to this nice song, never any wrong ones. Respect your heart and Jesus, religious or not. Your mother loved you so much. You have nice kind ears, hearing proper health and heart. Don't strain it listening to some useless song that is wrong. The little children can start saying this, and the parents teach them this, and it will be promoted and say whatever left of this clean mind humanity, and promote more clean mind, and all the wrong will be gone and stay away. No children will listen to anything wrong ever again. Will help the other children, prevent them from listening to something wrong. Everyone will be healthier for the rest of their lives, which their health has to be cared for because they can't heal anything. Then when they get older, teenagers will be clean-minded, inform other ones, help them, and along be restored is whatever left, the clean-minded humans left and healthy. We will be more healthier finally. More will be clean-minded. All the garbage gone, these magazines. They already made beyond billions, have to rectify this for years, but didn't. The TV show industry, movies, magazines, online, YouTube, misinformation. I type certain things to help to put these would be rectified, but they're not taking the time even to have the heart to look in and get rid of to fix these. They say they fixed the misinformation within 24 hours. It says this. No one got back to me. I even take the time to write one good comment to say for them to clean their minds, to get these comments this off, but report it, but they don't do act upon it to fix it. The million viewers they have these certain ones videos of these main singers, offensive beyond words, and actually invested millions of dollars to make these videos. And I've been in clubs for so many years, these songs, that the millions so many wronged and hearing damaged, and never when these people went there and advertently heard wrong and morally did wrong, and other humans were affected, seeing morally wrong, were offended too, never apologized to, never did anything to rectify these singers, the humans in the club industry. There's a lot that care. There's certain clubs that are clean mind, only play nice music, restaurants take time to care, but the other ones they cannot work there, but whoever's hiring and the prime minister is not looking into it, the presidents, but had to Pope to keep looking in the world, see if there's something wrong to humanity that will those main leaders, the main managers, employers of stores, to do their part to say, look, you're gonna wrong 100 million people, offend. You have no right to do this. You're dignity. You cannot do this. We take away your job, your paycheck. It is their job, but they didn't do for hundreds of years. 100 million people suffered. It is their job to act, restore. They have the contact information for major retailers, corporate offices. Humans don't. It is almost impossible online to find the head retailers' offices, phone numbers, and emails, and humans' right to file complaints and do to the head office personally. They are the ones being wronged and have no right to be. So it is the jobs of humans that still have from the stores to complain. Help think of another, take the extra second, I'm not that busy. Do morally right, help another baby, potentially millions. This is selling these blankets. Some people educated would put an HEB on skin of a child and have breathe it in and have chemicals stuck in the lungs, irritating it, and there's no surgery to get it out. Might need it, and we have a damaged lung or heart and internalize some breathe some kind of polyester particle or something and harm irritate his lungs and will be ill for life. Is a million babies wrong this way? Because humans sell garbage there, but people walking around with these iPhones can easily file a complaint, call the manager, be taken off the floor, push the issue, say, look, there's a baby going to be harmed, take it off the floor. If not, we're going to file some charges against you. You can't do this. There are fines, there are certain laws. They know that the managers know they cannot sell anything wrong that will harm a human health, but they're doing. Humans just go through and can't find everything is creased now these days. They strain, they have no right to mistreat their customers this way they know. People drive long distance poor to find a nice clothing item, but they put it all creased. And humans spend the time burning calories, go there. They're harmed health and try to find one shirt that's not creased and buy it, sometime not, and leave waste a whole many hours where they could be at home resting with the poor. They made the food barely money to eat food and care for their health and have the world cold to warm. Whereas their life sometimes going is COVID to one a store, but it took doing social distancing, but their only way. And barely find one clothing item that has no creases, no defects, not even one, maybe and have to leave burned paid money for gas to drive in the cold to get there and for food and barely any proper food there. 100 million people are suffering, not respected daily because of the humans that are working employers for too long. Not they want to be respected as a human, remember. Their own mother raised them properly and cared in the womb 9 months for proper health, proper etiquette taught. It is their job when they're in description to care for other humans and children in all industries and of food, to have proper clothing, properly good material clothing. They have all the money, resources, billions they have. They cannot say they don't to accomplish it. And their jobs, each job is to care for humans. They're going to work with humans, sell things to humans that humans care, that they would want some proper information in books, proper clothing on the skins, not irritating it, clothing that can be washed many times, useful, food items with proper nutrients, proper signage where the COVID masks are proper, sell one mask, don't sell anything else at all in terms of masks near it at all to help customers' health so they get there, find what they need, and leave. A proper signed mask, none are signed there to state clearly that they need a certification number, expiry date on the package. If it prevents viruses, not only dust. The millions masks sold with the blue and white ones, other ones that are only made for dust but look like medical masks, and millions still selling, and millions people lives lost, suffered animals, dogs because they thought it was gonna prevent the spread of virus but didn't. They paid the money, poor working, and bought it there, and retailers had no, they have no right to disrespect a human life held daily this way. These are serious ethical law. There are laws. These are serious laws disrespected on earth by millions of managers, industries, and everything high level not doing their all entire jobs to care for humans. They want to be respected, held, and souls morally right, not offended, cared, loved into existence, did their own as best part as children throughout the years to care whatever their own health is. No, it's not easy to get a job, to care, to have enough food to exist out of the cold or too warm, to care for their customers, to have proper things there. The customers need to file complaints as soon as possible. Tell the managers, tell the managers you cannot work, get their names. Take the few seconds. Humans have lots of time, some of them, even when they can. Take it if you write the names down, put the complaints, and keep pushing the issue when can. Get rid of these people. They know they cannot work there. Think they don't want. There's gonna when you leave and everyone is offended. Well, they end up buying nothing. Hundreds of people like myself. The magazines wrong their books, as I stated, clothing increased, not enough nutritious food, and calories burn leave, and human ghost doesn't need what they basic necessity, nice clothing, food to wear, clothing to wear rather, not offensive logos with these problematic chemicals made for children on these logos that can be washed. Everything needs to be fixed in the world, and humans have to act. Whatever clean minded human souls are left, file the complaints online, keep follow up on it. If they didn't, say they know they cannot get away with it. Humans that have the money, higher level jobs, please help those. If you have lawyers, some file these are rather covered by financial aid, and depending on city or country. There are strict laws on earth and every job title under God. A human has morally obligated because they're going to deal with people, customers, religious churches, and that have to close all worship places for all time are not humane to begin with. I, as a human earth angel, told to close all the doors, especially during COVID times and variant strains, to save the health and life of 100 million people of all religions. Online short and merciful and information mass session based on physical health promoting tips of humans to help others. Spiritual to use their virtues when a human physicality is healthy, to use their nice healthy physicality to help others, and especially these ways to file complaints, get rid of what is wrong, then restore what is right, and be easier for humans to buy, and easier, less strain on health to buy nice informative magazines with nutrition facts, better books, easier to find for children, buy and leave, less strain on health. The children will have a nice book, not some useless and misinformation. The souls will be happy, the healthier, longer, proper food, people will come and leave. especially COVID times where masks, social distancing, other humans to help people. The third part of this merciful information session, Mass New Online for all religions, to have a COVID up to date information part by the ministers or bishops, Pope, in effect already February 2023. Angelica Gicella, a human earth angel, I'm a humanitarian. On the earth live wrong, needlessly a victim, but I have authority under God, higher ranking than Pope, to tell him and all world leaders to remind all to respect human dignity, to fix everything that they have in the job description, powers, and financial resources to do. Apologize to those they wronged, ask their forgiveness sincerely, and use their funding paychecks they made in previous ones to rectify, help the victims, to hire proper new staff, fire the old ones, take away their paycheck. Every job, religious or not, take it away if they didn't help people. If they harmed the customers, they didn't hire proper employees, take away their paycheck. Make sure they do morally right to rectify it. Put apologies to their customers, signs online in the stores. I'm sorry we didn't sell proper products. You suffered. We knew not to, but we did. We're putting more and more proper funding into proper clothing. We're getting rid of the crappy ones, the defective ones. We're gonna put more and invest more into proper nutritious food sold, so you don't strain your heart. We're sorry you wasted gas coming here. We knew that you were supposed to buy something proper and leave. We're getting rid of these useless magazines entirely for years that were sold. We're sorry. You strainer are coming here. You wanted some intelligent, nice books, nutrition oriented magazines to help you. We didn't do this. We are putting more funding right away into something useful for you. This has to be done for this on the earth to rectify what they did wrong to the customers, the retailers, these certain stores, Walmart and these other ones, Sirens, some other ones, Urban Planet selling these ones, these tank tops, revealing and little children buying them. The parents, it's their job to raise children, right? This is what the children do. Then everyone has free will of choice, though, to buy these or not. But if they set the store's moral example, other humans offended, the song lyrics in those stores' music playing has to be stopped, harmed hearing, offended mind. I don't even walk into the stores, but it is certain stores that sell certain things that would a human afford, but other things that are not appropriate, then no one buys anything, such as myself, and strain hell and have to leave, have harm hearing and leave. Children, no humans have to inform and care for other humans, even tell them, do your part to care. Say, look, the humans see, even especially where there are children, everyone think when it's safe, say, look, don't enter that store, it's too loud, the music. You're gonna have harmed hearing and it's gonna be damaged and you're gonna might be almost deaf for years. And the songs are beyond morally wrong, offensive. So consider this and don't enter the store. If millions people told this, and then file complaint if they can iPhone, let them know of this proper age, and they have it right there, internet access, store, file complaint, says they stop playing the music. When a save manager standing in the door, tell them turn the music down. You're harming people health, hearing. You know you don't want it harmed, and can help care for your own health too, and turn down the level of sound, the songs, music. You have no right to harm your customers' hearing. They can't heal it. They might get a hearing aid for life, can't hear properly. Is verbally abusive content in the songs while you playing it. You know you can't. There are laws. They know they cannot play these songs in any store. They can be fined certain things. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but certain there are laws, fines for the managers that don't. They're supposed to care for the customers that work their employees to have normal sound music for proper level amount of decibels for hearing, safe for human health hearing. Many stores are not doing this. They cannot have verbally abusive, morally wrong song lyrics, song content. The songs with the beats in them, these dance songs, obviously harm the human brain, shake the physically, harm the health. They cannot play these, they know. And under God, they cannot make their job paycheck for this, but are doing. They need people to file complaints everywhere. It is even easier because, as stated, everyone has these internet, these cell phones. Complaints go to the manager in the store when safe, tell them, and they have to act right away. They know right away. They know if someone's telling them this, they have to act right away to turn the music down, respect human health. If not, they are harming your health. Other humans' health tell them there's 100 people in the store. You just harmed the hearing. You had no right to do, and you know. You cannot do this. Turn the music down, apologize, put an apology to the customers, and believe in your heart that you're actually apologizing. Do something to rectify it. Never play loud music again. Do something proper for your customers or close the doors. Put proper clothing to help the children. Be a good example, or don't open the doors. Don't think first that Britney Spears made $1 million to dress borderline prostitute. I mean borderline porn star, and she knows not to. And you're gonna sell this clothing with a cleavage showing and butt cheeks, and all the other singer women too have their name on it on the stores, then don't sell it. They know what to morally do right, and they cannot put these on the floor in the stores. Then the humans, if they complain, actually tell them and take it off the floor. Don't sell it to children. Put it as a sign stating of 18 years old and plus, or 19, depending on adult age. Then for sure children and adults know, then they cannot purchase these unless if they're ready to do. But that would be a woman would maybe wear that. I don't know. There's no that type of clothing unless they go to a nightclub. But even there, I don't know any people that would dress like that going to a nightclub, but are adults of age to have could have the body parts even to wear that. But don't, because it's morally inappropriate. But children 5 years old girls don't need to have their chests hanging out and don't even have their body parts grown enough to wear these. I am a human being of clean mind. I am to be respected like everyone else. Everyone, keep in mind how you want to be treated with respect, cared for, loved into existence by your mother, perfect health, grown for 9 long months, cared for best by the mother, then after the father too. Men and the fathers have to do and be a proper example for the children, to be of clean mind, to have proper morals, to kindly speak and listen to the children, to their pets affected, proper etiquette, have proper morals, never drink alcohol, never smoke. These harm the health, affect the brain. Don't want to come and wrongly start yelling and a child is crying, doesn't want to hear it. Disrespect the mother, verbally abusive. These happen over years. This is a child of soul, hearing offended animals, pets cry. They have a soul personality too. Every human life affects another one. All the liquor stores, in essence, they're already, especially those ones with a high percent alcohol, should be never open doors because it's already 40% alcohol that no human can internalize, even a drop of. These are chemicals, and all liquor stores should be closed and never sell and never open, especially during COVID times, and never sell any alcohol that has any percentage of alcohol in it at all. These are illegal, these are harmful chemicals. In a lab, alcohol is very dangerous and poisonous to humans. It is studied by scientists. Learning in labs, these are chemicals. This is not a nutritious food item. Humans cannot handle a drop of even the tiniest little bit of alcohol. 40% is a high amount. No one can drink the entire, even a drop of the bottle of anything such as Hennessy. If they have a one drop, the rest would have to have a whole glass of some pop or beverage with it just to dilute it so they can barely taste it. That's how strong it is. A human cannot internalize one drop, and people paid $1 million for these bottles of Hennessy and drunk, then wronged other human, verbally abused because of the other song actors, wrong example, singers, millions for over 2 decades. Clubs need closed during COVID, most are, to prevent the spread. Anything that is morally wrong to and offensive, disrespectful of human health, first is most important. Humans can't heal anything. Keep this in mind: if a human gets drunk, the brain is harmed, they can't be healed. Human drink alcohol, damages stomach lining, it is burned. It is chemicals burning the entire stomach, the esophagus, food pipe, and mouth are burned, chemically burned and poisoned. So put a sign there, and the humans who are selling this close all the liquor stores, save 100 million people's lives. They already suffered enough, and no one deserves to suffer. And no child or anyone deserves to have a drunkard yelling to like their mother or the children there when they're drunk, and offending have no right to offend anyone. These are simple things that I've seen and lived through victim of and choose to prevent the health failing and suffering of all humanity. No one has the right to offend any human or another living creature. They, they're supposed to care enough for their own health and spiritual, normal human soul well being, all loved into existence by their own parents. They all belong to God, all to be cared for by the human as they choose properly as they can. No, humans, when they get older, is not easy to heal or grow any absorb nutrients or anything. Stay as long as properly healthy as they can. Be a good role model that way for all humans, especially for children. This is not a second. Children is even after the womb, after they come out of the womb, rather, even till a toddler of 1, 2 years old, when they learn to walk, to talk, it takes constant care of a child for 100 million seconds on the part of the mother or caregiver to stand beside it and be there all the time. This is a very long time. Humans invest a lot of time and money taking raising little children health and take care of it to be proper, the health, the heart to grow the new cells to make sure they're there when they learn to slowly to grow. They're growing, they're sleeping, need to almost all the time rest enough, then to be healthy, to grow entirely new cells takes years. They grow new muscles, entire new heart, the cells, skin cells, not to stretch anything too much, then to nurture when they're healthy enough, rested, to learn, to educate them slowly, mainly about health, proper well being, how to help others, to respect themselves, their health. Then they can, when they're healthy, they can use this health that they have to help others learn something in their job. This is what they're trained to do, and they have to know in their jobs to help or train to work with other humans, other animals, other and nature. The grass, trees need taken care of. Everything affects everything else. Humans live their lives. They train to do, some are good at certain jobs, some others. And those ones affect the people that they work with. Employees are always asked, are you gonna do everything that you trained for to work with nicely with these customers, with these people, with the animals, the vets? Are you gonna do? You studied the years. Are you gonna do this? If not, I can't give you the paycheck. I will hire someone that cares because it affects another life. If you're not gonna be a good role model, if you're not gonna be a good president to run the country, well, million people tune in every day. If you're not gonna put a good shelter, home enough funding for disability for people all the time for food, then you cannot be the president. You cannot be the prime minister. If you're not going to do your job to work with world leaders to make sure everyone is healthy at home, basic necessities, and be a good spiritual role model, you cannot be the Pope. I will not give you the paycheck. If you do this and give you the job and you say you are, then they have to follow up if they did their job, but no one's doing this. Music industry, pharmaceutical companies, the Pope, world leaders, they do some of their job, but not all of it. They have the billion-dollar resources to care for humans, for animals, for all living creatures, to be morally good examples, to hire those that are morally good. If they're not, then fire them finally. There's 100 million all employees of jobs that are not doing entirely their job and morally offensive and wronging humans. And some things they're neglecting not in their job that they to focus on have to be doing, and million people suffered and still suffering. And animals then affected wrongly have no right to be disrespected. And nature is suffering. Pollution, improper then result weather climate, orphanages, people lost lives, COVID. With the Pope not doing all his job, could have put their online resources, told world leaders, put the mask, keep putting on every day themselves, be a good role model. People misinforming things, tell them to not do that. They don't act all the time, but they have to do. Everyone has to care for their own health. Everyone has to respect their own dignity of they wish to be respected. This is when they respect themselves enough to be clothed properly with proper clothing, made of proper materials, to care for themselves and to respect themselves, and especially in front of humans, to be properly covered up skin enough. They only not only respect themselves, but they respect others. They affect others. Others are not offended. Others humans see the human that they're talking to their face and listen to them, not having to be strange seeing a woman or a child talking to them, but are offended looking that way, not on purpose, and see a human child because of their have the chest is uncovered and the shorts, have their butt hanging out, and concerned seeing why their mother not telling them why they worrying that their children, and wrong offended, and react against it and strain the heart. A human reacts against this right away because they know it's wrong. No one needs to be wrong this disrespect this way to see this. If people parents care enough and have to continue to care for the children, they loved and took care of them for 9 months is a long time to grow in the womb. They're concerned and they choose the baby to be born healthy, but then they take care of them when a baby toddler, and then they walk around and then they give them the money and they're wearing the booty shorts. And these children are doing beyond wrong, and they're not even adults. They have no right to disrespect me. They're not told this by the parents, but they have to do. The parents standing right there beside them, they're not doing anything. This cannot go on. If they didn't sell these in the stores and get everyone file complaints, act now. Whoever has the higher level contact numbers, start a law office, call the other higher offices. In the store, retailers, act now, save, consider the health what you want. If you're harm hearing, take this second, file a complaint, avoid going in the store in the first place. Obviously, they know first, remember to respect the customers. If they don't play a quieter song that doesn't harm hearing, then obviously they don't have respect for their customers, so don't enter the store. Don't shop there. File complaints. If you this weren't informed enough and you didn't think of something, there could be some ways to file complaints and put some charges, fines on these people They harmed the hearing. You were in the store, they played a quiet song, then a loud one they had no right to do. You have harmed, they cause you bodily harm. Against freedom of choice is torture. They have no right to do. To harm your hearing, strain your heart. You cannot, if you had a heart, almost suffer, say, a heart attack and die, scared, startled because the song started. They no right to do. That was a loud song, harmed your hearing. You can file some say like criminal charges or depending what the laws are to rectify this. There's things they cannot, there are laws in place for a reason, complaint departments for a reason. If someone does wrong, then they have to, other people rights to complain, have your rights, and have, and should more people act. If they did over the years, then a lot they would help not only their life safe. Keep in mind, if humans go to a mall, the hand dryers are almost all too loud. Humans come go there harmed hearing and leave, but no one's filing the complaints. The million people enter, keep in mind, throughout the day after that, coming and leaving in washroom, a million people every day and harmed hearing. Humans might not have this thought in their head, but a human told them, say, stay out of there, it's too loud. They say, oh, thank you for letting me know. They might not need a hearing aid for life. They might not be, human hearing might not be damaged and have ear ringing for life, and no one wants that. If it's harmed that way, they have ear ringing, different brain problems, heart strained for life. It's not a second. The people file the complaints, and keep in mind some of these departments, they have the $1 million, but they're not doing the job. Then to push this issue and follow up with them. They cannot get away with this. They harmed human health, is illegal human torture. If it happens when you're already there and then it happens after, but if you knowingly know and you choose to go there and have your harm hearing, that's your decision. But if they, like I said, if they harm, if you go there and they start playing loud songs, or they usually don't, and harm you, then that's torture. They cannot harm someone against freedom of choice. Hearing, knowing that a human is right to be respected, hearing, and then start playing loud songs, or they usually don't, and a human hearing is harmed. And heart is illegal human torture. No one has the right to bodily harm someone, harm the hearing, brain, vision. No one has the right separately to disrespect anyone this way their health that they cared for enough to be healthy. Everyone, please do your part in the world. Care for your own health, physical well-being, and respect your own health. Especially told these other people or leaders, these singers, they obviously don't have respect for their own health and well-being. And under God, they started off and are to do right, have to have the million viewers to respect others. If they don't, keep this in mind, avoid them. Don't buy any of their CDs. Help file, put the reports if they have offensive content. There are these little links there on YouTube to get rid of these parts of these videos, get rid of them entirely. The million people will not strain their heart looking for a nice song and video like myself and can't find one because there's 100 million have to go through the page to find something nice that is not morally offensive. It wastes human time. Human hearts are strained. If humans file complaints, we'll get rid of these wrong ones finally that have been there already made beyond billions, couldn't be done. These people lived in luxury and sinning and know not to. They disrespected God and Jesus. After they know their singing talents, they started off doing right. They don't get away with it that way, but it's better humans not to support look their way. They're disrespecting, religious or not, they know under God they're disrespecting God and Jesus and morally doing wrong, offensive not only to them, not respecting to clothe themselves, seducing people when they are married. These are serious wrong. They're all married to a husband that they love or a wife in the singers, and they made the $1 billion actually seducing men so they are sexually attracted to them when they already have a husband, which is beyond, is not allowed. They know these are humans that don't have any respect for themselves, and they know, and should not be looked in direction of at all, avoided entirely. For these reasons alone, people to file whoever has higher level job contact numbers to whoever employed these singers to get them off the market. They've already beyond done wrong is over 2 decades, over 20 years. They've been done this for a million, hundreds, already billions of people have seen this, a victim of these people. And these magazines put these pictures this way and they paid the $1 million they could have invested, should be told to do morally right and have to take their paychecks and invest to fix wrong what the victims were wronged, illegally some harmed with alcoholics, promoting all these alcohol beverages, harmed hearing in clubs, put money for more for healthcare to help them rectify hearing aids for people whose hearing was harmed because of these songs if they knew but certain were played too long somewhere with when the right reason if it was harmed inadvertently someone's hearing illegally, offensive content. There are other laws. They cannot. No one can disrespect human dignity and rights to have something proper moral content in songs to be heard and not wrong, abusive language, nudity, pornography, swearing, promoting violence, gang violence, rape, killing, murder. These are in half the rap artists that started off on God's side, song lyrics, content still. The same ones sold 100 million billions of albums. They know are morally wrong. They had nice, kind parents, raised them right, started as gospel singers with their talents, voice belonged to God and Jesus, respecting, and they know to morally do right but did wrong for over 2 decades. Millions of lives were lost, people were killed. They are morally responsible for these people giving a wrong example for killing other people, promoting alcohol, these hard liquor, poisonous is poison, harmful chemicals, and damage the stomach lining of people. They promoted this morally wrong, paid the $1 million to put them in the music videos. They invested $1 million to promote alcohol. That's a really high level, 40% content, such as Hennessy, to harm the intestinal tracts of humans and stomach lining burned, and more people got inflammation, allergies, and ill and brain damage for life and killed people while drunk. People harmed, seen people acting disorderly, verbally abusive to men and women, yelling others' souls, humans offended, strain heart health. They had no right to disrespect. No, they promote this still. These are online. People see these commenting, the beyond wrong ones, but the morally right people. I put a report. They done YouTube and have to take this to take these down entirely. These main singers to get rid of them. Whoever's in the industry has the contact information. Get rid of them entirely. They are accomplices to humans being harmed. They have criminal charges in certain situations. Humans have choice not to listen to this content, but inadvertently hear this. These are not. They have no right to spread these morally wrong CDs. Promote this. There are advertisements, commercials still, magazines. Humans such as myself looking for proper content, songs to hear, clean minded ones is not easy to find. Strain the heart, and then on the screens, half of them, such as YouTube, which needs to clean up its act. The other websites, the Pope needed to act on this for years, has the resources, didn't do anything under God. He's a God represented on earth. The Pope, president, American one, prime minister, all other countries. 100 million people look up to these humans to do their job, to make sure they have proper singers, authors, journalists, TV reporters, actors, actresses with saying intelligent things beneficial to human health, beneficial to human life, proper good moral role models. These a million people tune in to these main people to see on these sites and shows every day. It cannot be said that it's not done. There are actually 100 million viewers tune in every day to see these people. Every show, watch 100 million people. TV show. Some TV shows are still stored in some sites since 1990s, and million people still viewing these and don't need to be informed their right to see, but these shows ended 20 years ago. To not waste their time. Put something more modern day, what humans need these days, informative shows on, videos, and people will have something to help their health and life. Not waste their time with some shows that people had from 20 years ago. These actresses either died out or put more makeup on so much over the years and still making the same shows. And humans hearing the same one liner, some offensive, some problematic, for 20 years. Humans have one life to live and don't need to be have their time wasted. A lot of humans are intelligent and poor, have take the little time, even work a hard week, want a nice movie, which there are after many years. There's in the past years, especially since the 90s, almost nothing. Maybe two movies from the heart that someone actually that I actually as a human would watch. I don't watch any movies for years. I avoid them at all times. I'm a human, as any human would care for health, would rather go outside if it's warm enough for air and go for a walk to learn something and help someone and be happier that way when it's safe, not COVID times and variant strains. This is all humans should be. Not this these people are have wronged illegally emotionally strained heart and then go on their lives, but need to be taken care of, then have to go and get a heart blood pressure check. Humans scared movies. These are movies about the devil, which is not accurate, is misinformation under God, cannot be done. The Vatican did nothing to prevent this, but had to. The Pope Francis, previous ones, their job. They didn't do million jobs to maintain morally right in all industries and all world leaders for years. They have to turn the paycheck in and to morally do right. Rectify the wrongs they did on earth, apologize to all humanity in all religions for not closing all doors in COVID times, all the years, endangered lives, St. Peter's Square. Formal apologize if any apologies put on Vatican Twitter sites, all world leaders do. Morally obligated under God to respect the physical well being of every human belongs to God, religious or not, that cared their mother enough to love them into existence, to be healthy, born after 9 long months, to raise them in a food poor, to raise them in a proper world of proper etiquette, to not have subject to seeing problematic movies, content, scary movies. No one wants to be scared. This needs to be get rid of from the world entirely. This has caused severe health concerns to humans. I never watched a scary movie in my life. I can't even stand even the thought of it and seeing it, and no children clearly can handle this. This caused a human suffer basically a heart attack and die. What is there is beyond graphics, beyond wrong, that under God is not allowable, and him and all humans, religions are not agree. To disrespect another human, to even make commercials like this, certain action movies, humans certain have right to choose to see these. Well-made movies are well-fed, rested to watch, then they can watch some maybe action, properly made movie. But horror films have to be gone from the world. Removed. People to file complaints act can easily be done if humans, especially in higher level jobs, have the contact numbers. Phone one phone call, say this is your job under God. You were hired, These people are suffering this heart attack, that you're morally responsible. If humans suffer ill health because of it, then you have to take these down. If children suffered almost heart attack, died seeing a commercial, when even hearing about it, damaged the hearing, startled them. They might have a damaged heart, blood pressure problem for life, damaged nervous system. You had no right to do this. Prevent it from happening. Stop, take down these advertisements. take down these commercials, get rid of it offline. Mostly everything's online. The theaters, when they open after COVID's gone, make sure whoever's putting them, make sure there are no scary movies, no horror films. Anything about the devil is I've seen is fake, not based on what the devil is. Anything with the wording devil is to be avoided. This is wrong content. This is nothing. These are matters. I'm a human on earth, an earth angel, mentioning on God's side. From experience, different things, no. Anything with the wording evil, devil, is to be avoided entirely from other humans, no. To never even speak this wording, to never mention this word, never think of it. These are subject matter that not humans anyone deals with. If they're thinking something morally right, they know it is something morally wrong, but don't use the devil wording. Don't use any evil wording. Think of it as something that is something morally wrong, that you cannot do wrong is a sin or something. Use that wording. Never mention any words about the devil, about evil, Satan, Lucifer. All humanity safer that way. All priests and ministers need to do this. This is information all humans have to respect their own health and well-being, to do morally right. Avoid what is wrong, educate, fix, file complaints with those ones that are doing wrong when it's safe. Let them know what they already know right is supposed to be done, but doing wrong. Let them know when it's safe. Tell them to fix it. Apologize to those victims. To rectify from heart when it's sincerely sorry have to be. To ask their forgiveness, to be forgiven and rectify, use their money paychecks made that they already made. If they even used on vacation and have no more, they are morally obligated to turn their paychecks in, take out a loan, work for the money, to give that money to those victims, to right the wrongs that they did, had no right to wrong these humans. In every industry, singers as well, all singers, the women, men, the 10 to 20 main ones, from 1990s especially till now, have to morally fix and to apologize and to sincerely in heart ask for forgiveness from the victims that were wronged over 20 years. Put the money into putting something morally right, finding proper content, songs, and respecting all those the victims that they wronged. They have to act on this on earth. Everything on earth has to be fixed by those that did right, knew had to, that they had to do right rather in their job, but morally offended wrong people and had no right to do. They couldn't make their paychecks. The singers, the actors, the book authors, ebook authors, they all know and hire to write a content rather that will respect their own selves intelligently, morally right, proper etiquette to help inform someone, to help someone, bring joy to someone. If it's going to offend someone, they know they cannot write and publish it, but most people did. Put a useless knowledge. They made people suffer, wasted their time. They have no right to do this in itself. Human health failed. Millions of people suffered because of these humans. If everyone, and then they have to rectify it, put a note to this, all managers, people tell this by hearing this to the bookstore owners, this make sure you sell proper books is your job. If you don't, then close the doors, fix it, and find someone who will care to to order books and promote proper books that will help people. Get rid of the ones that have been there for years that are useless, that are misinformation. Obviously, everyone knows these days what that means. If it's not proper, correct information, especially medical ones, mathematics ones, anatomy books, there are many for children beyond a human as an adult in life sciences know or read right away is wrong, but they're sold there in the bookstores, and children learn inadvertently wrong misinformation. But these humans are still selling these books. So the humans have to, who is educated and see happen in these bookstores, say if it's wrong, then take the little phones they have or tell the manager right away, take it off the floor. You will save a lot of million children coming through the store doors from buying this, being misinformed. And then if they have a job in healthcare in the future, they might have the wrong information about anatomy or physiology and harm someone by accident because they're the wrong information. Same with chemistry, physics, mathematics, in higher level studies. These books are not made for children, but are stated in some kind of Ontario or some other, for example, curriculum. That these are made to help students learn. There's no way they help any student learn. I can't even read them myself after learning this, and even this is not for children. Science books, these are not teaching children properly anything, but are being sold. No one filing complaints. Humans reacting against it, saying, "Oh, it's wrong," but they don't take the seconds. I'm saying, please act. Few seconds will take. Will remove it from the floor. They will never sell it. Those making money selling wrong misinformation will stop. They won't make money for harming children in future lives. Their disrespect, they're all reading a book that's not proper information, might save the life of another human if they're studying for medicine or something in the future. Nature, they won't have misinformation, wrong knowledge, their content. Is everything life affects another life? No one's been filing complaints. Maybe many people don't even know about this, so humans still give the idea. And will I say thank you for letting me know? I will definitely call these people, follow up after, because sometimes they complain and these people don't do anything. They still make the $1 million and don't care. Just tell the manager, did you take the book off the floor? Do it now. Take the case of these books, put it there behind the counter, and say, put a sign there saying it's not for sale as misinformation, and then tell them to send it to whoever sells this book, to the author, and say a misinformation, write it down. Take the few seconds effort, contact the author, is online, everything information. Type in their name, say you have misinformation. They might love to know. Maybe they made a mistake in the book, and they will fix it. If not, tell them to take it off the market and don't sell it no more. They won't make millions of dollars harming potentially people, which they have no right to do. And most of them are children's books. And 100 million stores, main stores and malls online still sell them. No one doing anything to fix anything. No complaints. Humans react against things and moving on with life, but nothing doing, suffering, and then nothing gets done about it. Nothing removed wrong. People is all wrong content everywhere, misinformation. And this is not a world for children growing to have in the world to live in, or any human. This has been going on, unfortunately, for over 100 years. There's some that care online and everywhere, they have blogs, but these even need to be spread. Humans that find is the required action on the part of humans. Find a nice doctor online that it actually is humans educate, know that is helping humans, promote them, find subscribers to promote their page. Easier strain, less strain on human health lives. You use your gift virtues when you're well rested, cared for your health, that your mother took enough time to care, that you were grown and nurtured, cared for health. So use your care for your own proper health. When you have enough calories rested, to use your virtues, gifts, and soul to help people. What you learned, what maybe you're a victim of, to help other people, inform them so they're not victims of it themselves. Any information put as these days even online will put online to find those people with many viewers will love to hear and put there and see every day where the Pope is site should make helpful tips of victims helping other victims. That's what he have to do. He has the million viewers. People tune in every day, Twitter. He can put a comment like that and save 100 million lives of being wrong what someone was wrong, at least care to let people know, to prevent other people being wrong that way. Simple nutrition tips. Humans learn posts have their one little blog, but they don't have the followers yet. Could it have someone have to everyone has to act. Save whatever left of the few kind-hearted humans that care, that learn to take the time but need viewer to follow, share this, act. to a mass tag. People already paid. People have some money, extra dollars to promote their posts, the pins. These kind are the ones. Humans that have less money, help them. You find, share it to other people. People love to hear this. There's some good information to find these days. Books. No more useless, morally wrong magazines of humans that actually already made the $1 billion and after for 20 years and live in luxury sinning, but don't get away with it on earth at all, and had no right to wrong other people. To tell these people to apologize, ask for sincerely forgiveness, that they really know that they care enough to actually realize what they did wrong. Offend these people. Every job description who has been doing this for years, even the medical facilities, and the ones I was a victim of, CAMH, Mount Sinai, 50 to 100 medically negligent psychiatrists, doctors, nurses, staff of all kinds wrongly harmed me for 20 years, had no right to do. Funding to the people to file complaints, help those that less fortunate that can't, help push the issue. Get rid of those in every job that are not doing what they're under God were supposed to help patients. If humans act to file these complaints, those that actually afford lawyers and actually act to help put them in prison, get rid of these people, criminal charges. If people act, have to follow up to make sure they did this. Retailers to stop selling inappropriate masks. Get rid of all the other ones. Tell people when the more people file complaints, then we'll act and actually be done. Make sure they do right away. And by law, they have to act immediately. They know this. Every manager, every retailer, online, in stores, coffee shops supposed to be closed during COVID. People file complaint, tell them you can't open the doors for dining purposes for sure. Tell other people if you know something, take the time to listen to this. People are not informed almost about anything. A lot of people barely get through high school and sorry, elementary school and high school. Past that, most humans cannot learn anything. There's some people that can learn higher level college, university, or can actually afford to go there for a certain high level job like doctor, some business. The rest people are basic education. Basic human nutrition needs promoted above all to help human health. All sites is more important. If they were in these magazines, books, and stores for years, the research been done mostly online. People narrow down in such as Pinterest, these pins, most of them are most proper information, but everyone has to check. Narrow down which vitamins are beneficial for certain health concerns to prevent certain foods. And some research has really been done. Is easily some found online. Those that are medically oriented that know these things help put a little video or something, blog, and say to people to act, to join viewers, to find and help inform others. If you act, then million people would love to know information that they couldn't learn but need to know to help their own health, to care for it, would love to know but can't learn it. They can't afford it. They're not taught in schools, unfortunately. They should be taught easily in the elementary, high school for years above all. And what to use their virtues of after physical health first, to sleep well rested, and then online these days. During COVID, all schools closed, prevent the spread all times, and variant strains, even this. All humans have to act, do something. The ones kind hearted, that are whatever left of them in the world, don't support any wrongdoers. They made millions, they know under God can't help get rid of them, finally. Then the people will have a nice magazine with food articles, no more these singers, these ones outdated for years. Stop the $1 billion wrong industry. They're living in luxury while all the people suffering poor, making money, hearing these offensive and suffering heart attack strain. Their souls wronged, offended, wronged in the ways I stated earlier, had no right to be disrespected, their health, their soul, the hearing, their kind ears, the soul, their vision to see these things, their time wasted, having these in the stores, not nice medicine type of magazines at any appropriate age for children. And then everything, when humans file the proper complaints, do something right away to the managers. Humans with higher level jobs complain to the higher corporate offices, tell them if they don't do the job under God, these certain exact words by law on earth, and under God, they know too if they're not going to help humans and the million customers under them affected, then resign. If they did something wrong, put a formal apology rather. Sincerely from heart, they have to be really sorry for forgiveness from the actual human. Under God, they did something wrong. Forgiveness they need and be given on God's side. Jesus, Holy Spirit is not only religious people, but it's actually the human that is wrong, that they offended. They knew not to have to seek forgiveness from that human. They had no right to offend, wrong someone, misinform someone. They know every human life affects another one. Everyone knows this to begin with, that they are, if they do think intelligently, clean mindedly, not to verbally abuse someone. They have no right to abuse verbally anyone. They want to be not verbally abused. They want to have someone speak intelligently and have the right to be respected this way, and as all humans, to have people taught and to respect of clean minded etiquette, people to dress appropriately, covered up proper clothing, physicality, private parts, especially entirely covered in public, bellies, proper length this summer if needed, shorts, not to have the butt cheeks hanging out, cleavage not allowed to be showing in women, girl lawlessly, set proper examples. Is a priest, minister, pope to put this video. That's why I made these videos to restore order, restore the respect of all humans as a right to remind them of this as many times needed. For humans to view this as well, please share this. This for this reason, this purpose. Angelica, humans speak this. I'm a victim of millions of different wrong in the universe, on this earth that I've seen, that I didn't deserve. And I, human, was wronged, offended, have physically brain harmed, physical health harmed, suffered, couldn't be healed, is not rectified. I was offended, had no right to be disrespected this way, offended, my rights were disrespected, patient rights. A woman me disrespected, was offended wrong, couldn't have children because of it. It wasn't every human, myself included, have rights. Patients have rights. There are laws in the world, legal matters. Humans have a soul, personality, emotions. No one has the right to disrespect anyone, so they're crying. Women, men, or children, old people, disabled people. Everyone knows this. So to keep in mind to slow down and think of yourself how you want to be treated. Then you don't want to offend someone, so they're crying. Women, even men. All humans' rights to be treated with respect. Disabled people of all job titles. Slow down, think. You're gonna have a disabled person there. You have to treat them with respect. Say a kind word as you want to be treated. They already have a physical disability for life. Need someone to help them for years. Put the funding there. Those that hear this to help get funding for disability is beyond subminimal. That is disrespectful and of any human alive, especially for humans beyond their control, are disabled, brain damage, not for second for life, and have the world freezing to death temperatures, no home to live in, no food to warm their belly, not hot chocolate enough, any money at all, no shelter out of the cold given enough for a night, and the last have to, especially Ontario, for 30 days and nights, which is can't be done. They have no money given, prime ministers, the president, current ones, previous ones had to rectify for years, didn't. The Pope. These are disabled people that have the right to be respected, valued, loved into existence by their mother and womb, cared for their own health. Me, myself, especially most are victims. Psychiatry, these ones in mostly every country. Poor people in mental wards put on forms and illegally or dose them with dangerous antipsychotic ECT for the purpose of making a paycheck to have a client. Illegally under God they cannot do. They swore an oath to God to help the patient help, but don't do. So need people can afford the medical negligence lawyers, and then are put in prison. And then the councils hire these colleges hiring these doctors have to take their license away or not doing right away. They make the millions, people suffering. That's why I say every job file complaints whoever can, who those it costs money, but some are covered. Some criminal negligence lawsuits, some other lawyers are covered by financial aid for whoever can't afford them. Take the few seconds, file the little complaint report. Money is be due, but a few seconds will save your health and life, and respect your dignity as your right to have it fixed on the earth. Get an apology from this human that wronged you, forgiveness asked from you sincerely, get them to rectify, take their paychecks away. They didn't do what their job is to respect another human life or another animal life, nature. Is all living creatures. All have to be respected, even trees have a life. For humans to care, respect it all, save whatever's left of humanity. The caring ones have to act, disregard, avoid all the wrong ones entirely, stop supporting in some way, don't buy their videos, avoid entirely, save the money, give it to someone. A blanket helps even out of the cold, and a blanket warm will keep them from frostbite being on their skin for as long as needed, versus buying a useless magazine. The music industry, for example, can use this idea, get it to them. Whoever they wrong, stop selling this. Luxuries live, take the money they made, harm people, have homeless, drunken off the street. They have no the parents lost because of it, because of their wrong songs, different result of it. Put their money to rectify, help the victims, put into funding for help with the homeless, blankets, care for humans. Humans were wrong different ways because of the morally wrong content. They had no right and no to not to disrespect people, but did. The industries themselves, as those make billions of dollars hiring these singers, actresses, have to rectify over the ones that worked, especially the past years that did wrong, mostly the past 20 years, have to turn in their paycheck. Put formal apologies rather to all viewers. Humans inadvertently wronged children, millions, online, different social media sites, immediately they have to act. Every second counts. Rectify this on the earth. They don't get away with it. The human victims have a right to be respected, apologized to formally, to be asked forgiveness from them, and sincerely from the heart that they know that they never wrong these people again and never sing these morally wrong content, never hire these singers, never make these wrong videos. No one has been treated respect the victims, even to be apologized to. Humans offended for years. The humans selling the wrong clothing, the stores, people left, not filing complaints, but maybe didn't have the thought. But people, if more informed people to push, file complaints, act now, be serious, is there's laws. There are lawyers for reasons. There are strict laws in the world about everything respecting human dignity. There's ethics laws, bioethics laws that have to respect on the earth. There are humans that deal with these laws that have to enforce but are not doing. And 100 million people suffering for over 20 years, especially some other more years, 100 different, depending what job was dealing with. But mainly in these past, in terms of morally offensive content, is in the past since the 90s to the past to the 2000s, now 2023 year. 100 million people started off as clean-minded moral humans raised by clean-minded really parents, even on God's side, gospel singers, and did beyond wrong, offensive under God and Jesus, cannot do themselves, and wrong offended those people, the other people rather on earth, had no right to do, and have to do right the wrongs on the earth while they're alive, save their souls in essence. They don't get away with it. They have severe punishment by those in heaven already know. but they have no right to offend, and had no right to offend, disrespect human health and hearing or vision of a human and soul being offended by their morally wrong content in their song lyrics, TV ads, books, ebooks, all Vatican, these exorcist books, these ones are based on misinformation. All of they're entitled The Right. These are misinformation. This is true spoken. These are not on God's side made. These are misleading. 200 million people bought these books and watched these videos. The Emily Rose one, these exorcism, these videos are all based on fake knowledge and not on God's truth. Anything that's stated that is the Gabriel Amor, the chief Vatican exorcist that died years ago, made millions, quadrillion dollars past that. Books still online, need taken down. Whoever made these have to take the money and give it back to the whoever sold it, whoever is selling these books and movies still. Whoever made the money under God can't. They have to give back this money and to give back the money to all these people that bought these books, to tell them never to read it, to recycle or get rid of these. These are morally wrong under God, and that's true information. This needs to be really rectified on earth, and any YouTube and other media site that has these videos and the movie trailers and advertisements have to take them down immediately. Everyone has to right the wrongs that they did in their jobs that they didn't were not allowed to do, and they know. Give their money back and help the victims that they wronged had no right to wrong. Put formal apologies as their for sincerely in soul forgiveness to these people. Say we're sorry, misinformed you. You used your hard work money. We put this and you had harmed health. We are getting rid of these books. We're letting you know this. Don't waste your time reading or buying these anymore. We are very sorry. Put in to give money if it was really this sincerely serious this matter to these people that really were misinformed, and give them the money back for these videos, books. Tell them to act, to actually destroy them properly, to recycle them, save the planet that way. Never to mention the words that are misinformation in these books again, videos. There's no such thing as demonic possession. Demons are angels that are punished. They do not possess any object or human. They are always separate, functioning from every object or human. All deliverance ministers to be informed, everything I speak is a carefully selectivized word with meaning that humans had disrespected, and earth and Pope didn't do their jobs for years. The popes, rather, world leaders to look into these online. The religious world leaders under God had to care in their job description, but didn't. Made their money. The world suffered. Everything morally went more wrong. Those that were wrong made the millions. Others suffered in every job title. The kind-hearted human lives suffered. Those that cared enough can't really do much. They need more lawyers, funding, but are poor. So those who are in the job titles, higher levels, who hear this, please watch this video. You are morally obligated under God when I spoke this to act now and rectify anything as I spoke, each word you hear. Angelica Gichella told in this video, and I made previous few videos for the whole world, all world and religious leaders and humans of all job descriptions to hear, that they know already, but to review, refresh their memory. And under God are morally obligated to act now. To respect the dignity and health and life, well-being, and souls of all as you want to be respected. If you did anything morally wrong or you neglected something, left out even inadvertently in your job description you didn't do but had to, and affected negatively the lives of millions of customers, people, parishioners, depending what industry job you had, then you have to rectify this immediately. You have the resources in your job description you're trained to do and fix it. Put the apologies there. Sincerely, you have to be actually sorry under God. You don't get away with it. And Jesus' purposes to respect and Holy Spirit couldn't do anything morally wrong. To sincerely be sorry for your sins, doing something morally wrong that affected negatively another life, potentially 100 customers wrong, morally wronged, offended. There's laws even on earth, legal ones as well. No one has the right to verbally abuse, make someone cry, a woman, man, child, anyone. There are laws, these are in court, can be taken up. No one can morally offend someone in any religious way, in any race. There's no discrimination allowed. There's no every human is to be treated ethically with respect in terms and as well in with respect of bioethics laws and rules as a living human being, to be treated properly at medical care, to have proper safe place and shelter, warm out of the elements to live all their lives as needed. Funding, have the world leaders too. They can't say they don't to fund this, but haven't been doing. The Pope too. All previous years ones have to look into, take back their paychecks, whatever they did in previous ones. Have to put their money back into what they wronged these people. Restore and save the lives, health of these victims best they can. Apologize sincerely from the heart. Ask for their forgiveness, to be forgiven. Then they'll be rectified on earth what is to be done for years, which almost humanity and all major job titles neglected and cannot do, had no right to do, and never do. To disrespect another human in any way, their soul, brain, mind, physical health, not to have a peaceful place, hiring people to promote peace they have in their job description to do but didn't. These all affected 100 million people's lives and been wronged for years. Everything has to be fixed now. Humans to care for their physical health, be proper role models for other humans. As I stated, everyone's life affects another one. Starting from the children loved into existence, 9 months growing is a long time in the womb, cared for their physical health and soul, and to be well taught, educated, good morals, clean minded etiquette by the mother, the father, caregivers, adoptive parents, and to find proper teachers when needed in schools to continue this when the parents working if needed and children to learn to be care enough parents to make sure the children have to consult the teachers to see if they care for the well-being physical and spiritual, proper good role models morally for these children. If not, then they don't put them in that school. File complaints. These teachers are trained and have to work with children geared to this. If they're not going to teach them properly, then file complaints to have another teacher hired. Take away their paycheck and put someone who will care and educate and care for the children. Humans have to act. This has been done for years. Millions of children suffering. Don't even teachers inform them to close the doors and care enough during COVID, and millions would go without masks. Potentially suffer the respiratory ailments for 2 weeks and die getting COVID and spreading it and will never leave the world. Still goes on. You know that a teacher cares and their paycheck cannot were hired to prevent this but are not doing, then have to be fired. If a children were harmed illegally wronged and had caught the virus because of it, they can file criminal charges against these teachers because they harmed the result to harm the health of a child. They could prevent, had to, in their whatever is in their job description, trained to do under God, have to do their job. Every job, religious or not, to care teachers for the well-being of the children, to teach, educate them appropriately, what the proper curriculum is. If it's not, to parents act. See what they're teaching children. If it's wasting their time, if it's not appropriate, then tell them not to teach it. Tell the trustees they will change it. They have to act. There are laws. This is out of respect of human lives, health under God. All are oaths sworn in every job title. Principals have to do their job. These humans study and train this way to do their job to help, and the children affect the store owners, customers, everyone else. But the human's been wronged, and the victim's not easy to do, but actually to file complaint. It'll be done, rectify easily, ask for apologies, you have to let them know you know right to wrong me. Ask my forgiveness. Sincerely, if you do care enough, you wrong my life in this way, you knew you know right to do. I need funding now to live, or I lost a parent, I have a child that was lost, and I have no more child because of you, teacher. You could have closed the doors. Let me know. There's COVID. These are different things that every life affects another life, but has to be morally done, fixed on the earth by every human, respected by all those that wronged to apologize for to ask forgiveness sincerely and make sure they never do again, and to rectify with their paychecks what they made and use that money if they need to help those victims. They are morally obligated in every job to respect and fix this on the earth immediately. Then it will be restored a nice peaceful environment. Proper people that care actually have jobs and the money need to live off the street and buy homes and out of the cold and warm countries. People will do their job. Pope will put funding to their money to Africa. Million people beyond poor. Make houses with some leaves. They don't deserve to live like this. The Pope hasn't been doing for years. Someone contact him, care for human health and spiritual being of this are millions children orphan. Send the money, stop flying on jets. Take that money, invest, put in one account to each orphanage and put shelter, funding, human well jobs to build a house. Proper greenhouses is a warm temperatures there. Put greenhouses with enough water to grow proper vegetables to feed the humans for all years needed. They're years behind victims. They are wronged by the Pope. All previous popes didn't do their job. Are under job description moral to help this funding UN different victims of different natural disasters, to care for physical health, be a good role model, do this for years, care for as he want to be treated, to have a home and out of the warm there, proper medical care, put hospitals there they don't have. There's bacteria, viruses there, they don't have any treatments, no doctors, no hospitals, no houses. The children have a bright future but have no pencils, nothing to learn, no water. Million seconds is one meal, they are starving, then they dehydrated, are dying. There's no meal then lunchtime, and a few seconds are left and then dying. A child has no one has rather the right to leave a child suffering like this when they have $1 billion in the head governments and Pope to prevent this, but didn't for over 100 years. They have to act now and apologize, put formal apologies. Sincerely from the heart ask forgiveness of every child, orphanage there, people with not enough shelter, and all world leaders that have the know to help these people but didn't. Stop funding useless police officer extra vehicles, $1 million. You could put $1 million there and have one shipment of bottles of 100 million bottles of clean water for these people to drink. It's done in a second. You have the resources. So everyone who ever watched this video, tell the world leaders to do their job. Put a formal apologies rather. Ask forgiveness sincerely and actually mean it to these people. Statements to these people, children. They no right to live their physical health failing. Then with more proper moral good guidance, role models had to be, but they weren't. Get the Vatican, the place, sell half, most three-quarters of it is empty, big, huge castle. Use that money either for shelter, take that money and give it to those in the warm countries that need water. The Pope doesn't need to live in a huge mansion making billions of dollars and not doing anything. It's illegal, actually, and he cannot do this. These are certain things that need to be done for years, but no one did. But under God and by law on earth, had to be done, and respect out of respect of human lives, health, in other countries or orphanages, not only Africa. These 100 million, and especially those dehydrated and half the world too hot, half too cold. Canada is not a land of opportunity. And as they really spar and I help people that are freezing to death almost all year and have money to do. Like myself, disability was given almost nothing, but I was wrong illegally because they didn't care to put proper medical psychiatric staff. 2 decades I lost. Can have children, side effects, brain damage, live on street with no disability funding. Funding was about 200, but the last 4 whole months with no food, I basically had the same jacket for 20 years and had no luxury in life, no home to save for retirement, money, nothing, and millions live like this in Canada and Toronto, in America, and whole world. But the president and them lived in luxury previous ones, had to prevent this, but don't do, and have to put funding in to myself, Angelica Jikela, and put formal apologies and give me all the money and to all these victims that they didn't put caring staff and take away their paychecks and give to the victims. So they have houses enough that they could have made enough for the months and years to live. And right to be respected this way. Physical health, they be wrong, if we righted wrongs of human souls, apologized, then they have a value, human respect of life that is see that the human that did wrong and have to do that they really actually sorry, consciously sorry, never do wrong to the humans again, fix what they need to do, apologize to the victim, will be happy, give them the money they deserve to live and need as much as need even more for luxury what they deserve. They'll be in, by law in like medical courts and others for punitive damages, no right for emotional distress, verbally abused. They didn't hire proper staff. They're responsible, have to right the wrongs. Other industries, right your wrongs. Be sincerely sorry. You knew you were gonna do right, but you did wrong. 2 million people. Then we have to right the wrongs immediately. You have this everything order has to be restored in the earth. The people victims been wronged, no one fixing anything. They are suffering. They have rights. They have a value, life, health to be respected. They have to be apologized to sincerely. They have a choice and have to ask forgiveness and forgive these people. What right the choice to do and have these victims be given money to fit on whatever they need that offended them enough to rectify this situation by those wrongdoers that knew not to wrong them and had no right in any way to do to sin against these humans, offend them, wrong them in any way. In any industry, in every job title, world leaders, Pope included, music industries, movies, books, e-journals, online YouTube sites, all commercials, especially in the past decades. Everything needs to be fixed immediately. Those that wrong when fresh in memory, file complaints, immediately act. Humans that can't afford lawyers get it done in court, put them in prison. Every law is done right. The wrongdoers get money for what they were wronged by, then they won't wrong anyone else. And everything will be rectified, restored order. Humans will be then left with the people, the rights wrong, the wrong, what was wrong done to them, resolved. People live their soul in peace then they have money enough to live whatever they are left of their lives, to be cared, respected by all humans as they rightly deserve. Then everyone will be happy, have all morally right content everywhere, nice songs, nice singers dressed properly, no one offended, wronged as they deserve, nice things to see in a store and leave when safe, nice books to read, happy, joy, humans happy, read something interesting, have a happy soul, bodies not strained, harmed, the soul not wronged, and have nice care workers, nice medical staff, finally, everyone not in the cold, no one's suffering, seeing other people in the cold, funding put into these disabled people or have homes as they deserve, can't work ever, so keep that in mind, leaders. With disability money, especially victims you could have prevented, such as myself. Thousands enough calculate food to love enough for and save money could have for years and give to me that can't afford a medical negligence lawyer would get in a court of law for me, but I can afford. And 100 million people like this in the world. But a right to do. I was illegally wronged. because they didn't respect my health and do everything in their job description powers to do to provide proper medical care, proper religious staff, pope. Everyone didn't do their job. Stores didn't put proper books, other people didn't put proper signs for masks. One human is live wrong so many ways, and 100 million are like myself. No right to be wronged, disrespected. All the employers and different people know what we're doing. No one fixed anything. Humans left without anything resolved, never apologized to, but have to be respected as humans. Everything rectified on Earth wasn't. So this all has to stop. Humans do to respect your health, care enough, be good role models for everyone else. Physical health in terms of help educate others, children especially in physical health, well rested, stay warm, safe, promote this to others. Use whoever has talents for singing for proper uses only. You're going to affect someone else. These are God given talents. These are organs you use to have these talents for singing, speaking, speeches. Even prime ministers, Pope have talents that they learn certain things other humans to speak properly, educatedly, and have to do good example to million viewers to run a country. 100 million people in every country set a good moral, physical example. Dress appropriately, wear a mask, inform people about COVID. These are they're trained to do and have to remember to do jobs. Weren't and rectify it. Fix it now. Do your jobs entirely. Hire help you help humans to help you. You have the funding, fix it all, rectify it all, apologize. Forgiveness given, humans sincerely know have asked forgiveness, forgive them when they choose. Money given, paychecks back to the victims to help them in the way to relieve what they suffered, had no right to be wronged this way to suffer by the wrongdoers. And everyone then will be at peace in their souls, healthy. Everyone will have people properly clothed, no one offended, proper hearing, everyone happy, in joy, in peace, getting along with everyone else, children happy, not offended, people going to stores, buying what they need and leave, not strained, having useless stuff there, informative nice books, only sold magazines if needed, other everything else put in recycling, got rid of. Then everything will be everyone at peace, easier health, less strained. All lives, a lot of millions of lives will be saved. Animals included won't be offended as a state. Keep in mind, everyone, animals have a life and soul. They cry if something's wrong done to another human. They don't want to see anyone wronged. They don't want to be wronged. They need to be taken care of. More vets, anyone, more people to find a way to take care of them during COVID to be taken care of. They have respiratory tracts too. Vaccines need found. These are all what whoever in the world is doing jobs. Slow down, focus what you actually studied your job is. If you didn't do all of it or you neglected something, fix it. You have the resources under God you have to do. Any previous employers that you had know of that really made money, popes, or leaders that didn't do to put funding, take their paychecks, give them that's still alive, have to even take a loan if they spend the money to get these paychecks, put them in prison, depending what laws they broke or disrespect humans. Take the money, put it into it to help the victims that they had no right to wrong. This has to be fixed on the earth, all the popes, everyone in the world, every industry, all humans. All humans, please, what they can act. Help prevent others if you know you're a victim of. Inform them of negligent places, doctors, prevent them suffering, file complaints of the ones you know, stores that are problematic, file complaints, tell others to avoid them if needed, parents of children till it's finished if you know about it. Humans speaking simple words save the health and lives of millions of people. If they don't act, which they haven't been, most people or not even got this idea, would love to know. That's why I'm telling people what I learned to prevent the health failing rather, and suffering of all humanity, of children, physicalities loved into existence by their mother, They all belong to God, everyone's soul, brain, physicality, organs, respect of God, Jesus. No one can do morally wrong on earth, doesn't get away with it. Respect Jesus, no one can sin, and especially has no right to wrong anyone in any way, offend anyone at all. They have no right to do this to anyone else. The morally thing wrong, they're not already doing wrong in themselves, keep to themselves. But they're already judged on earth. So they have to do morally right and be a good example for everyone else. As they right to be respected as their little children, teenagers, adults, old people, and all humans in the world, all animals and nature. Everyone, please remember this. These are carefully selectivized words with meanings from the heart and soul. A humanitarian. I, Angelica Gicella, am a kind hearted soul. I am an earth angel in human form. I have high authority under God on earth. I am a celestial being, but in a human form on earth, not forced by God, but chose as a human to help humanity, to prevent them from suffering, all animals, and all living creatures. And I was wrong as I stated, or rather, I was a victim of many things in the world that all could have done right and wasn't rectified. So I know that's why I speak from the heart that these all need to be rectified by all those in all job titles and all humans to right their wrongs, the victims they wrong to apologize, ask forgiveness from those individuals, put their money paychecks into rectifying what they did wrong as much as needed, and to find people that care from now on to that will work, do properly in their job titles that will affect millions under them and treat with respect they deserve. And every order restored homes, proper care, basic necessities, food, water, especially to Africa and other countries where it's too warm, shelter, new homes, they have nothing. No food, shelter, no medical care, no greenhouses for food for years. They are humans, respected, had to, are not, don't deserve to be mistreated this way by world leaders and Pope, have all the funding and all the world and half the world too cold, other countries too are all poor. Barely have jobs to get by, to bake shelter and food just to survive. That is not a life to live. They have the funding, have to fix this for years. Fix it now, everyone. Respect yourself and all physical health, and then spiritual, help others when you can, and soul, religious or not. Be part of a human worldwide Earth Angel movement. Angelica Humans started for all humans, religious or not, to be physically healthy. Help promote this of all humans, nutrition, knowledge, in the new holy information merciful session of mercy of a human, have kindness, compassion, to use what they know in life, even to help someone else, to start it in this the new masses, replace the old holy, all worship holy masses are gone, to replace it with this physical well-being promoting. Then have a human is healthy enough to do to help someone spiritually using their virtues and to promote the third part of preventive measures of COVID up to date on these online church congregation sites. And the Pope to make this immediately by God, Angelica as a human have authority, higher ranking than the Pope. And I'm telling this to all world leaders, Pope, and all religious leaders, and to invite or welcome all those non-religious to this online site congregation to promote this. The physical health well-being, spiritual, to help others then when healthy, and the COVID prevention in other countries, other places, there's other virus things to prevent in the world up to date in a one information helpful session of mercy on the part of a human, to care for another human, to respect their dignity, to be good role models for everyone else, to promote this one time a week on a day of rest, not day of worship anymore, on Sundays usually or Saturdays, and before and after a long work week, a short information session by helpful humans, to be promoted in the world effective immediately, and all worship places closed for all times. Were never humane places to be is not place of worship. These were holy grounds put wrongly, and human religious different people wrongly misinformed for years of religious physical practices that were harmful to human health. That Angelica is a human earth angel, highest ranking above archangels and celestial being in heaven, am in human form on earth, by God, Jesus sent and Holy Spirit message as a human, my own human earth angel message from the kindest heart of my own heart and soul to stop the suffering and prevent of all humanity. Restore the humans to respect one another, to remind them of this as they have to be, to restore order in the world, in the universe, respect of all, a reminder of all humans in all job titles, lay people of all religions, religious or not, to respect all others physically, spiritually, use their gifts to help others, prevent the spread of costs, preventative measures to consider and help everyone till this virus is gone. It has changed forms. It is not gone. It is very a dangerous time. It is mutated. Everyone to care for one another, inform each other. Then everything when is restored in order, everyone respecting everyone, all wrong gone from the world. As I state in this video, everyone will respect everyone else. Everyone will be healthy, happy, all humans, all animals, and all nature. And there will be heaven on earth for all, as they rightly deserve for all these hundreds, millions of years, but didn't happen, but will be restored on the part of humans being earth angels. Caring for physical well-being after loved into existence by a mother for 9 months, nurtured, cared for by other humans, putting right and moral example, teaching them, and then they use this to help others. And everyone will treat each other with respect, that they deserve the dignity of a valued life that they have. And there will be restored heaven on earth for all, and peace, a safe, loving environment. All animals will be safe, cared for, no one left alone by anyone. And then the nature will improve. There will be less problematic weather patterns, and everyone will have shelter, no one be orphaned. Proper medical care will be restored, more researchers put funding into those that cared and actually will do to care for humanity will result. Everything, if humans act now and can be resolved by high level doing their job and firing those that didn't, taking away the license, imprisoning those that wronged the others. Everyone apologize, forgive when needed, use their paychecks that was wronged the victims to help the victims. And this, even a few phone calls in the next few seconds, days, hours will restore a lot of wrong, a lot of, will restore a lot of order legally and then under God. Lives will be respected more. And this could easily be done, and everyone have to act now. February 2023. Restore heaven on earth for all as they rightly deserve. My name is Angelica Jakela. My name is spelled Angelika. My last name is spelled Jakiela. I am a human earth angel. I am a humanitarian with the best interest for all to prevent this suffering, and health failing, and to stop the suffering and health failing, and to stop the disrespect of humanity, animals, all living creatures, and nature once and for all. To restore heaven on earth for all. Please subscribe to my Angelica Gicella Earth Angel YouTube channel. Please find subscribers. I've been kept alive for too many years against my free of choice and tortured alive before I made any videos illegally. Not protected by God, had to be on earth, but not doing his job. I am a human on God's side, but I'm also a human earth angel. I was sent onto this earth born with a purpose, what I just stated. Out of respect of humanity, all animals and living creatures, to prevent their health failing and suffering, and with the intent of restoring everyone a reminder to continuously think of this, rather, to respect every human life, valuable life, animal, living creature, and nature. To restore the heaven and earth for all as they right to be respected, as all living creatures on this earth. I have a website, Earth Angel Help, on the wix.com. Angelica Gicella put my main videos there. Everyone, please share this to the world leaders and anyone in high corporate offices, the ones who they hire more viewers and have to right the wrongs. This has to be done immediately. I don't know how much longer I will live. I've been alive way too many years as it is without being able to die. I am a humanitarian, a public figure. If anyone has the contact information, please give it to me. I will gladly speak with the Pope, but I don't have his information for years. But I need more than anyone alive. And world leaders, please give these videos to them. Make sure they view it. And to all countries, they are morally obligated under God to listen to what I say. I have high ranking under God on this earth. And what my efforts cannot go to waste as a human. So please, whoever can download, share these videos online, share to 100 million people as well, to save their health and lives and remind them in a friendly way rather, from the heart and kindness of my own heart and soul of human that suffered alone, doesn't want anyone to suffer alone, and wants everything rectified as a human's right to be treated, every order restored, all the wrongdoers rectify what they need, if needed, put in prison, help the victims. And it was simple cause as stated, everyone acting will be even soon everything rectified on earth and restored. Order, health, and happiness of all as they deserve. And then they have joy in their hearts and souls, and heaven on earth as they rightly deserve at all times.